Hello. How's everybody on this beautiful Saturday morning? JS, nice to see you. Ms. Potts, thanks for coming in. War Damn Eagle, Roll Tide. K9 Captain. Good morning to you. Hey, Jules. Jules is here? Or is... Oh, never mind. K9 Captain Jules, sorry. I just saw K9 Captain. P. Fox, good morning. I am me. How are you? Thanks for coming by. I know it's probably still a little early for a lot of people. Let's see. Meg, what's going on? I mean, I'm happy. I'm just happy it's not like 100 degrees. At least there's like a nice breeze right now. I think it might be like high 70s, but it's not like hot, destroy your phone hot. Thank God. Let's see who else is here. Susan, thanks for coming by. Hagen. Has anyone seen Jumpsuit? Yeah, I'm gonna make a comment about that. Gemini, Les, Mittens, Cocky, good morning. Jackie, let's see, Michelle. Miss anybody? Michael, 007. Hi from England. Hi. I still can't get over Ozzy Osbourne's death, Michael. Like, I'm literally, I don't know. I've never mourned a celebrity. Like, I don't know. I've really never been upset for more than like a day or something after like a celebrity death. But like this, for some reason, this is hitting me different. I don't know. Like when I watch, like I've been watching clips of the Osbournes, his last performance, and just these little videos and stuff, and I have to like, I have to cough like that sometimes just to kind of keep it all down because I don't cry. But it's yeah. Jim, how are you? Christy, thanks for coming in. I'm gonna get to it in a little bit, guys. If everybody can just bear with me, I'm just saying hi to everybody. Sudi, how are you? Hope I got everybody. If not, good morning. Thanks for hopping in. Let's see. Let me real quick drop the link. Anybody wants to come up, you're more than welcome. I'd love to hear your perspective on what I'm going to give my opinion on and why I think that nothing even compares close to how. Hey Jesse, any other case like this. Let's see. Jim, yep, many great, yeah. Like I said, he's such a pure soul. Like I love how honest he was and everything. It was just, yeah, no problem, Christy. I think I dropped. I go down. Okay, yeah. I dropped the link. I'll drop it again because I still can't figure out how to just pin it to the top. So I'll drop it a few times. Hey Jesse, if you want to come up, man, I actually have a few questions for you, Jesse. If you want to come up and click the link, brother, you're more than welcome. Yeah, this case is screwed, and we're going to talk about why this is, in my opinion, the most corrupt case, at least in my lifetime. But click the star to the right to pin, Willie. Okay, do I do it in StreamYard, Annie? Like if I click on my own, like if I click on, okay, hold on, star comment. It says star comment. But now it says starred. It shows starred on my side. And it says starred comment. It shows the link. Can you guys see the link? Let me try it again. Jesse, you slept 5 hours. That was me. That was me yesterday. Because I went to sleep at 5 a.m. in the morning, and I slept till like 10 something. That's why I couldn't stay up late last night for Twizz's live, because he was like, oh, come over, and I was like, I can't, bro, I'm gonna die. I don't even know. I don't even know how I was surviving in Annie's last night. You're backstage. It's not showing. Oh, it's weird. It wasn't showing me you're back there. What's up, Annie?
Hey, what's up? Did you figure it out?
Long time no talk. Well, it says starred, and it shows start on my end. I don't know if you guys can see it.
I know in StreamYard, if you on the right hand side, like there should of the box for the link, there's either going to be 3 dots or the star. If you click that like if you go into YouTube, you can just tap on it and then pin it. But in StreamYard, you can click the star and it should pin it for you.
Okay, then I'll hop over to YouTube. But because I don't want to have a whole ton of people up here and people talking over themselves. So I figured if you wanted to come up, maybe Jesse can come up, and what's her name? Christy said she can come up too. I just want to, I want to get everybody's opinion on. I mean, I'm sure some people don't know. I'm sure most of you do know, but this case is absolutely fucked, and this case is, in my opinion, the most corrupt case in, what do you think, the past 50 years, 60? I mean, I'm sure, we can compare it to some other fucked up cases, but I've never, ever seen something like this, to where they are changing their words around reports, changing around information to make it, basically after they start getting other names of people, they start to go back and say, oh, like you were telling me, and like, oh, this is wrong. That was wrong. We got this number of things wrong. We have that number of things wrong. Now, listen, if you're off by 1 or 2, that's fine. But when you start saying that you were entering numbers, just, for the,
I don't know how I don't know how whoever typed up the report that there's 94 blood samples out of that apartment. I don't know how you hit the 9 by accident if all you meant was 4, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, you're not going to add a number before. No. I'm sorry. I'm not buying that one bit. And then we hear it was on the shower curtain. If I'm not mistaken, there's blood on the shower curtain, blood on the flusher of the toilet.
Yeah. And on the wall where you flip on the light.
Is there any way, if you have, are you on your phone?
I am.
Oh, okay, that's okay. I didn't know. I want to bring up just that one article.
I think it's number 77, if I remember correctly. It's supplemental report number 77.
There's so many. 77.
Yeah,
okay.
I think the one for the blood that was collected out of that apartment, if I remember correctly, it's 77.
Yeah, it's 1,000.
I mean, would you rather I come up from my computer so that I can like share screen? Is that what you mean?
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. If you're home, if you're not home, then no. But if you're at home, if you want to come up on your laptop, just I can bring that up, and if whoever hasn't seen that part of it to show where all the blood was, I mean, to me that right there is the most important thing I've seen so far. Because we're talking about reasonable doubt, right? We can talk about alternative suspect. How the hell was he, one, cleared, but 2, how is this not enough evidence for Hitler to accept the defense to use him as an alternative suspect? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, well, now we know why Miss Mathis said this case is full of alternative perpetrators.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
she wasn't kidding. Based on some of these reports, yeah,
not at all.
You got the kid who's bragging about how he went into their house when they weren't home, and when they got home, he was still in there, and they didn't know he was there, and he could have killed them all if he wanted to.
Yeah,
that's one. You've got this apartment right around the corner that's got a bunch of fucking blood and blood spatter in it. That's 2. I don't know how you didn't deem it a secondary crime scene, just in case. Tape that shit off. Let's make sure that, right. Yeah, I know, it's weird.
I mean, let me just ask everybody in the chat. Do you guys think if Brian had 94 blood stains in his apartment, that law enforcement would have made a big deal about it? I'm just asking. I'm just asking. If they went to Brian's apartment and there was 94 blood stains, would any of us be here right now, like even remotely thinking he was innocent? I'm just curious on how many in chat. Listen.
Bro, if a report is in here somewhere that they collected fucking even more than one blood sample from his apartment that didn't belong to him, I would be like, okay, we got a fucking problem. I've been in the same place for a decade. And I swear to God, they could kick in the door, lay down Blue Star, lay down Amido Black. They could lay down fucking anything in my house. Luminol. You're not going to find 94 separate spots of fucking blood somewhere.
Thank you. And I think I mentioned that in your chat. I said, listen, I've now lived here for, many, many, many years, right? You can go in my bathroom, anywhere in my house. You're not going to, you might find one or two specks from whatever, but 94?
Yeah.
And you're talking about on the toilet, you're talking toilets are clogged, you're talking shower, you're talking all the things that's suspect. And then he flees to Boise.
The maintenance workers like, yeah, it was weird when we flushed the toilet, it clogged. I'm like, yeah, probably because there's a fucking K-bar in it, bro.
Yeah. So my question is, who, and I know they're not just nobodies, but who the hell are Jack Showalter's parents? Because they must have some kind of pull to make them not just look the other way, but change their information from 94 to 4.
Yeah. Yeah, they do go back and correct their report and say it was a typo and it was only 4 samples collected, which makes more sense because there was 2 in the shower curtain that were smudges, one that was on the toilet flusher, and then 1 on the light. But then there's also 1 sample of blood collected from the front door as well. So there should be 5, technically.
5 what? Samples?
5 stains of blood collected from that residence
I don't believe anything they say. Listen, who knows what else they changed in these reports after they learned Brian's name. What is that, brother?
Just getting started. Just 2/3 of the bottle.
What time is it there? Dude, I watched something crazy about Thailand this morning that somebody was blowing up a gas station or something. Did you hear about this?
Yeah, I posted a map on my Facebook page for my family that shows that I'm on the exact opposite side of Thailand, like in the top corner.
Oh, okay.
On the bottom lower end of Thailand. It's a full war. They're flying jets into Cambodia and dropping bombs on military bases. So yeah, there's something going on. Probably not going to affect me too much though.
So let me ask you a question, J2. How do you know that's a typo? Did you speak to law enforcement? How do you know that's a typo? Obviously a typo. How is that obviously a typo? I don't understand that. You're 4 and 94. You're talking about, huh?
Someone in chat is saying, surely they tested the blood. I just want to clarify. No, they didn't. And furthermore, the fridge that the blood was stored in shit the bed at the ISP forensics lab or whatever it was being housed. So nope. The blood is apparently can't test it, couldn't do nothing with it, and the fridge shit the bed where the blood was stored. So oops.
That's an awful coincidence, isn't it?
Yeah, but then again, you add all that to, the flusher, the shower curtain. It's all these areas where he's, and then the toilet's clogged. To me, that's getting rid of shit right there. You're touching the.
So Showalter's your main suspect right now.
I don't know, dude, because I guess I just from what I've seen, I'm the only one that's been making or has made the biggest stink about this individual. Is the person on the Linda Lane footage that is literally running back to where 4 people are now massacred, and then 20 some minutes later runs back and hops into a vehicle and takes off at 4:23 in the morning. And that person right there was like, you know, and I want to know who that person is, because to me that is fucking important. Because if you showed me that video and you were like, listen, we identified this person, that was Brian Koberger, I'd be like, you fucking did it. That's Brian on camera running back towards the scene. You understand? But we completely disregarded that and cared about like the guy at the dumpster, which I don't understand.
I mentioned to Diego yesterday that it almost appears to me that everything that we've read in the documents so far is trying to set up so everybody could be guilty. You know what I mean? Like they mention Jack DeCour's deteriorating mental health. They sort of, it's setting up for, it could be DeCour. Molly McMichael, the DoorDash driver, she seems really sus. I mean, she's hanging around the house right at the time that this is happening, walking around with a flashlight. What's her involvement? I mean, she her story does not make any sense as just I'm just here dropping off DoorDash. Bullshit.
Yeah, everybody's just doing just stuff that they've never done before around these times, and we're just supposed to be like, okay.
Nobody's story makes sense. They're contradicting themselves repeatedly. We find out that and all these friendships that we've heard about. Oh, this is so and so's best friend, or these two people are close, and then it's coming out that no, I don't even know these people. We're not even really, like, Hunter Johnson and Ethan aren't even really friends now, is the story. They only know each other because they're dating 2 girls that are friends. I mean, that's completely opposite of what we've been told this whole time. And Hunter Johnson, actually, his story is really sus. And then I find out that he leaves his phone at the scene of the crime. Yeah. And I have yet to hear when he actually retrieved that phone.
And these are college kids, right? So these college kids can't go more than an hour without their phone, dude.
But can you imagine if his phone was actually in the house during the crime? I mean,
it was though.
Me, yeah, well, I mean, I haven't heard.
That's why they called Emily. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've heard him say that he forgot his phone at that house, and I've never heard when he actually retrieved it from that house.
Yeah.
But I mean, if his phone was in that house, man, you really got to look into that guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Dagburn, thanks for joining us. Hey, P Fox, what's going on?
Hey, can you hear me?
How are you?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay.
Yo,
am I echoing?
No, you sound okay. Thanks for coming up.
Okay. Hey, I just got something to say about this lab fridge because it bothers the shit out of me. All right. Because I don't know about Idaho state law, but where I come from, everything in our lab that has to be temperature controlled, refrigerators, whether it's hot or cold, even our rooms are temperature controlled. So we have to have, it's from Senso Scientific, we call it Sensotech. It's this little thing. You stick it on the outside of the fridge, it's got a thermometer on it. It goes inside the fridge. If that refrigerator gets 1 degree below or above where it's supposed to be, that fucker starts alarming, right? Not only does it start beeping obnoxiously, right? Your computers get pop-ups. The lab phone starts ringing. They text you, hey, something wrong with your fridge, bitch, fix it. And it continues to do that every 15 minutes until you acknowledge the problem or fix and then acknowledge the problem. Yeah. Continually. I mean, the phone ringing, bring, bring, constantly. And not only that, I work in a little bitty lab. We have 16 refrigerators. 16. So, and those things that on those fridges are mandatory, like OSHA, gotta have them. You know what I mean?
And of course,
so if that fridge shit the bed and all those specimens got lost, that's bullshit because they should have had a shit ton of freaking alerts and had plenty of time to take those specimens out and put them in another freaking fridge.
Absolutely.
Straight
just
negligent.
real quick, guys. Yeah, just real quick, guys. If everybody, if you haven't yet, if you can just take a moment to like the the stream if you can, so we can maybe get in the algorithm, and because we need as many eyes as we can on this, and we can never stop talking about it, all of us. Because, like I said, in my opinion, this is the most corrupt case, at least in my lifetime, that I've seen. And like I said, it's so unfortunate that I knew Brian, and I have to live every day knowing that, at any point in time, you could be picked up and be put in this situation, and the whole time you could be completely innocent, and they would just not want stuff to come out and put you in a position to possibly take a plea and hope that a higher court or somebody could save you. It's very sad to live every day. It's crazy. It really is.
And
they
it could
do
change
this to a human being.
It could change the world. The idea that law enforcement now wants to use AI to do all their work, and you look at some film. You think of Orwell's 1984, right? That's the classic one. But I mean, more modern, Elysium, when Matt Damon has to talk to the robot, and the robot doesn't understand what he's saying, and the frustration that goes into that. I don't know if you guys can picture that scene in Elysium with Matt Damon, but it was certainly Orwellian in modern times, and that's sort of Jeff H. Who said his name 3 times, and why did you do that?
Jeff.
Hey, can I just say real quick?
Jeff should be cool, and everything be cool.
I just want to say, P Fox, this is why I love you, you damn queen, right? Thank you for saying everything that you just said, because anybody who knows anything about working in any of these labs knows there are multiple layers of protocol in place so that shit like this doesn't happen. So I love you, darling.
That's a 24-hour, 24. I'll be at home in bed. One of your fridges is fucked up. You know what I mean? I have to literally get up. I have to either go fix it or physically go in and suspend it until I feel if it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
So you would have to purposely,
if the fridge
not fix it.
Yeah.
It's there if your compressor goes out, if you leave the door open, because everything in a lab is controlled. At least it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Dropping knowledge, just dropping facts like fucking bombs, P-Fox. Yeah.
I mean, that pisses me off.
So if the fridge failed, would the blood become useless? I mean, I know obviously that's what they're saying, but does that make sense?
Your blood has to be refrigerated. After you take blood, we 30 minutes. It's got to be spun down in the refrigerator, and it's just according to what test it is too. Some of it's faster, but you have to keep it in the fridge. But my point is, there's things that monitor all your equipment. All your equipment is monitored and monitored and monitored again. They would have known that fridge was going bad. And not only that, you only got one freaking fridge in a state lab. Bullshit. I'm telling you, I work in a small lab. We have 16 fridges, 16 huge double door fridges. There's a room for and we have 2 in the basement plugged in just in case a fridge goes out. That's bullshit. It's bullshit.
In addition to that, when they go in and they take the blood from
real quick, can you guys hear me?
You're coming loud and clear.
Okay, great. Real quick, Cockney, I don't. I'm in the process of trying to get all that sorted out to have members and stuff like that. So, currently, I don't have that, but I'm kind of in talks with YouTube about trying to get that turned on. Right now, I just kind of have my Cash App and Venmo at the bottom if anybody wants to support. Because again, until I can get everything all situated, that's really the only option. But I just wanted to. She commented that a little while ago, so I just wanted to respond to her. But sorry, guys.
But I'm telling you, this whole Sensotech thing. I mean, it tells I have to work in a room. It has to be 65 degrees all year round. I mean, we get up to 66. That thing, beep, 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 beep. Everything's going off. It don't stop. They don't stop beeping until you fix it. It's I don't get it. And you only have one refrigerator in a state lab. Get out of here.
Wouldn't there be blood left at the scene as well?
Do what?
Go back to the scene. So I mean, it sounded like there was an awful lot of blood at the scene at that apartment of Showalter's. So I mean,
Yeah.
when they take the samples, I'm assuming if there's an awful lot of blood, yeah, they'll take whatever samples. But is that they don't then
They'll put
clean
it in a
all
tube
the,
and throw it in a cooler.
but
In
they don't
whatever,
clean all
whatever
the remaining
vehicle.
blood, right? Like
Crazy.
they should be able to go back and take more samples later if
Yeah.
all the samples are ruined. Wouldn't they? Would they not be able to do that?
Yeah, they should be able to do that.
I mean,
Why
I've
wouldn't they be able to do
heard
that?
cases being solved on blood found in the fibers of a car seat 10 years later.
Right. I mean, I don't work in a forensic
Yeah.
lab by no means, so don't. And I'm not. If you want to talk real scientific, I'm not the one. But because I just don't do the scientific, I can tell you the thing. My Bob goes in the whatchamaflick, and that's how we get this. You know what I mean? I don't. I'm not gonna get all scientific, but yeah, they can
Mhm.
totally go back and get it.
It just
You know,
sounds
you
like
just swab it and go.
fridge is so suspicious, but the fridge failing in itself doesn't sound like it even explains. Like that's just not even good enough. Let's say the fridge wasn't suspicious, which I do think it is.
They
But
would
even
have
that,
known. They would have had time to move everything out of that fridge into another fridge.
and then on top of that, they should have gone back to the scene and seen what they could scrape up, and should have still been able to match those samples.
Yeah. I know. That fridge shit pisses me off. Because, like, we had a compressor go out on our fridge, but guess what? We knew immediately it wasn't working. Like, immediately.
Jeff, it's a freezer. Search the word freezer, Jeff. You'll probably be able to find it there, darling.
They didn't even sample everything from the crime scene. Didn't AT request a nightstand of the room that wasn't tested or something?
I'm wondering what Jeff H thinks about the flashbang, the loud bang followed by sparkles under the door. Any theories on that, Mr. H? And how
I got a
that
theory off of Annie's theory last
This
night.
is why you gotta take your time, Jeff. Say it again, P Fox.
Annie was saying, oh my God, what if they were trying to get into that closet door? You said that, right? What if it wasn't the closet door they were trying to get into? What if it was something in the closet door that they were trying to get into? That's too big to move.
She's saying it's a safe.
You know?
Well, I just think I thought it was weird that there's a utility closet on the first floor that has a coded lock. So, like, my first thing was like, okay, well, when they got into Brian's, because I'm doing like comparison, when they served the search warrant on Brian's and they found this other room with this locked door, they immediately asked for permission to boot it. So I'm saying to myself, okay, you have all these kids, a couple of them actually live in the home. Go get the code from them. Did you get the code or did you boot the door? Did you ever get into that closet? And I haven't gotten to the report on that, but you know, I mean, what was in the closet? Like, why is there a coded lock on the utility closet? That's weird.
Well, my question is, Dave, where's anybody getting a taser that shoots? I thought, I thought like civilians, like we can only own just like handheld tasers. I don't think we can buy tasers that shoot unless you're right.
There was no comment. There was nothing in the documents that said it was shooting. It sort of said it flashed. It was described as a flash.
I get it. A lot of people have said that now about the taser, and I get where they're coming from because when it shoots, or that's it. But but doesn't create a flash. Like, have you ever seen a body cam where the police they took the taser? There's no flash.
Isn't there one that looks like a razor? It looks like almost like a Remington, and it's got a little electric bar, and when you turn it on, it kind of goes. It sparks. No.
You mean like a cattle prod?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Cattle prod.
Yeah.
But my whole thing is like, okay, if you're hearing a bang and seeing a flash, it's like, how are you hearing something if the speed of light travels faster than the speed of sound? So to me, I don't see how she is awoken.
It sounds like someone's trying to get into that locked up utility closet, in my opinion, and she is seeing and hearing the boom and the flash. But I guess this is also what makes Bethany exculpatory. Right? This is exactly why Richard Batanti said the
There you
things
go.
that she saw and that she heard are unique to her. This is why. Because if your perpetrator entered and exited through the slider on the second floor, why is Bethany hearing booms and seeing flashes and or sparks on the first floor at the same time Dylan is hearing struggle, screaming, and commotion? That's why Bethany is exculpatory.
Exactly. That's why they ran to the grand jury.
As the way she described it, could that be a gunshot?
Yeah. And
Because
now we saw that Dylan saw some kind of gun, right?
Well, something that could have been a gun. So there's a maybe, and based on the way that Dylan and Bethany have been behaving, and based on the way that they, at the end of the day, they called 911 and said their friend passed out drunk. So they can't really come right out and say, yeah, I saw a dude with a gun, right? They can't say that, but they can say. So when they use this language of I heard a bang and saw a flash, they might have saw a gunshot, know damn well that's exactly what they saw, but they just can't come out and do that because they put themselves in a position where they have to say, oh, I don't really know what I saw because I'm just a dumb
and the whole
wonder.
thing. Yeah, and the whole thing about, the neighbors heard nothing, blah, 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 blah. Well, people are fucking sleeping. Not everybody's awake, just sticking around at 4 something in the morning like, these kids are. So, I mean, people sleep through a lot of shit, right? So, I don't know. To me, it's just weird that she sees a gun and now Bethany hears a flash and hears a bang. Yeah, I don't know.
It explained why they were in such a hurry to tear down that house if there was actual gunshots.
Yeah, and now because Annie is just a wonderful fountain of knowledge. That I heard that this house still traces back to Green.
That's what Chris said. Yeah.
Through shell companies and such.
It's literally his childhood home.
Yeah. So, I mean, is it
and
like...
it was also transferred back to the university's possession that he is the president of. And they literally destroyed it and buried it deep, deep, deep in the earth. So, I don't understand why the university president has anything to do with the case. I don't understand why he's sitting in on briefings and debriefings. This crime occurred off campus. Even if I'm an FBI agent co-located with Moscow Police and IFP, I'm side-eyeing why they're allowing this civilian to partake in briefings and debriefings in their case. That's just, I don't know. I would be like, why is this guy here?
Yeah.
Why are we including him?
Yeah. See, and that's what I mean. Like, so many people are going to believe this whole typo shit, and that's how easily people are swayed just from law enforcement who's lied about everything else, saying, "Oh, we messed it up." Come on, man. People can't be that sheep-like. They can't be.
It's incredible how false those documentaries were. I mean, those people should be in prison for putting out documentaries like that. And where were they getting that information? That's what I want to know. Who was leaking that information? I mean, it's not an accident. I mean, and Daniel on Drum Turkey, somebody should kick down his door and say, where did you hear these stories? Because you put out a bunch of bullshit that made Brian look guilty.
He said Brian made bombs, for Christ's sake.
Say that again?
I can't. He said Brian made bombs.
Made bond.
Yeah, bombs. Flashbang, like a bomb.
Yeah, I know. And he was a can. I know. He said the most shit, and then he got fired from his security job for stalking women, and it turned out that they just let a whole bunch of people go. Like, yeah, he's come out with so much false information that I've debunked, because he claims that he knows, has sources and all this stuff, but his sources are horse shit.
Well, doesn't it all make sense now, though, too, when you look at Scott Green and his connection to the House and blah, 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 and that he's sitting in on briefings and debriefings, and you have Steve now saying that the prosecution is doing nothing but protecting the university. That's exactly what Steve is saying now. He's saying that this was done to protect the university, which I think is super interesting.
Steve said flat out. He said this was done Yeah, that this was done to protect the university, and it's sick that that it has to come at the expense of the victims. That's what he said. So, like I said, how long until Steve is in our chats? You know what I mean?
I mean, where was the news headline? 4 kids slaughtered in president of UFI's house. Where's that headline?
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. They wanted this to go away as soon as possible, and the break was ending. They needed to have they need to get somebody. It's just reading these documents and seeing the level of evidence on other people, and the fact that Hitler was not going to he was not allowing a third party defense is disgusting. Because in my opinion, that's more than enough evidence you need to blame somebody, just in Jack himself. And then, like you said, Jesse, then you got Hunter leaving his phone there. He's picking up that kitchen knife. How the hell just because he's telling law enforcement this? Since when? I mean, all these documentaries I'm sure we've all watched where like people are interrogated. Since when does law enforcement just take people at their word and not verify that what he's saying is?
Well, as soon as I seen him looking like he's $110 and high as a kite, I stopped trusting Hunter. I mean, that dude looks like he's got some bad habits right now.
Yeah. As far as
a drug addict. I mean,
yeah.
You look at pictures of Hunter Johnson at the time of the crime. He's a college kid, looks like athletic, good-looking guy. You look at him now, he looks like a guy
he's going through it.
Yeah, that's my question, Jesse. When is MSM actually going to start? I mean, they are starting. Like me and Andy were talking about this earlier. That kind of the bigger podcasts like Megyn Kelly and Andrea and all them. Like they're starting to kind of see that there's this whole thing is screwed up because they're reading the information.
I was really disappointed when I watched Andrea last night. She was not where I thought she was going to be.
Did she read it all?
I don't think she's read all this stuff, but what she said was she opened her show by saying that she changed her mind. She basically became a guilter. That's how I interpret it. Other people have said they didn't interpret it that way, but that's how I interpreted it. When she found out that Brian purchased the K-bar with the gift card and all that stuff, right? And to me, I get how that's a bad fact, but we still haven't seen, is that in the
where's
documents?
The receipt?
Has anybody read that? Because really, all
where's
I've
the
heard is a story, and every other story I've heard has been debunked already. So, I mean, why would I not assume that that's just fake news, just like everything else? Like Molly, the DoorDash driver, who actually saw a red-haired guy with spiked hair and a girl, and not Brian Koberger, and a tan car and not a white car. And by the way, Jeff H., with the green car thing, that all those guilters were making fun of me personally. They were attacking me personally. I had a one-on-one.
She could come up here and blow me.
I had a one-on-one with JB Gunner over the green car thing. Turns out Brett Payne was trying to do his own experiments to see if they could make a tan car look like the white car in the video, because Molly apparently identified a tan car. They haven't made tan cars since the 70s, but whatever. It was just interesting to me that the cops themselves were doing experiments on whether or not different colors would appear to be different colors, and how we got ridiculed for that, or I personally did.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like all the guilters and shit were all saying, "Oh, wait, it's it's all in the paperwork." Yada, yada, yada. All this shit is showing so much information on everybody else. Where's the information on Brian? All these terabytes of shit that they said of this and that they had. Where's any of it implicating Brian more and more? I don't see any.
We didn't even need these files because they stood up right in the sentencing hearing and said there's no connection. We can't put him at the house. There's no motive. Basically, we got the DNA on the sheath in the car, and I mean, what else? They did talk about the knife purchase, I guess, but again, we still haven't seen that.
Yeah. So that's, I mean, JS, if you're just going to be a keyboard warrior and not come up and hit the link, then shut your fucking mouth. Okay? So.
Well, it is interesting when we're talking about where's everything on Brian, right? If you actually look in these supplementals, once you start getting to the information regarding Koberger, it doesn't start until after his arrest. So that's interesting.
Yeah. Everything's a coincidence, you know. They change 94 to 4. No big deal. That's just a coincidence, you know. And that's what so many people
if I
are
remember
just
correctly, the only thing they did on him before his arrest is that December 23rd warrant. Yeah, I think December 23rd, that AT&T warrant or whatever. I think everything after that is all done like after his arrest. I'm not seeing anything for him that was done pre-arrest besides the pen, trap, and trace and everything they did on the 23rd. So if there was anything, it's whatever the feds had. It's not what MPD has so far in these reports that I've read, which, you know, I don't know. Like I said, I've always believed the feds are the one who did all of the work in the beginning. And, you know, so there's going to be a lot of stuff that Moscow can't answer. They don't know how they got that information. We don't know how that information came about because we're not the ones who actually got that information. Someone else did. Someone else just gave us their word. Know what I mean?
Yeah, it's all.
This is why you have Payne. This is why you have Payne saying, "I don't know" or "I don't recall" over 100 times. He doesn't even know the language in the warrant that he signed for, or that he wrote. Why is that?
Wonder what
because
Payne
they're
had to
just
do to
copy
get
cutting and
that
pasting from the feds.
Oh, P Fox dropped down. We tried to link in case he lost connection. What were you saying to her response, Jesse?
What did Payne have to do to get the job at U of I, and why did he need the job? You know, he's the lead investigator of the case of the century. You'd think he'd have a promising law career ahead of him. He could become like a district attorney if he wanted to, being part of this investigation.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it's more money. It's way more money that he's getting paid.
Yeah, but why would the U of I want him? It seems like a payoff. It seems like, hey,
Amen.
I'm being facetious because I think people could read between the lines and see what I'm saying. Hey, plant this sheath, and we'll give you a cushy job for the rest of your life. You won't have to worry about the consequences.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
I don't know how the sheath got there. Nobody knows how the sheath got there.
Well, let me ask you this: you've read the autopsy reports, right?
It's a supplemental report. We don't have the full autopsy report.
Okay, so because I want to know how many different types of knife wounds there are. You know, if it, like what their, I guess what their opinion is on how many
like
different
each
weapons
individual.
Yeah. Like if one weapon was used on one individual, when another one was used on another one, like that's something that they should know. If it obviously the entry wounds, the bruising, stuff like that that all can be determined. Does that happen at the medical? From the medical examiner?
We're probably not going. We're not going to get like full autopsy reports or anything like that. We may get a medical examiner's report for each one, but it's probably going to be redacted.
Yeah, I just want to know how many we're talking about.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to release like full medical examiner report for each victim. I could be wrong. I think that would be up to Spokane since they're the ones who retain those records. So like Moscow police, they're releasing everything from their records. Whatever Idaho State Police, whatever records they have for what they did in this case, Moscow doesn't have that. We have to get, that has to come from IFP. Each agency has their own stuff. So we don't even have a full picture. We only have MPD. We don't have IFP. We don't have Latah County Sheriff. We'll probably never get anything from the FBI. I'm not holding my breath on that.
Yeah. 90 likes, hold on. 90 likes and 175 in chat. You got to be kidding me. So 50% of people here in chat have not liked the stream. Wow. Everybody can please, if you could just take it. I'm not asking for much. Right? I'm not asking for much. I'm not asking for donations or nothing. I'm just asking you to like the stream. Right? Go put your touch DNA on the like button, and come back and we can all have fun. All right. Thank you.
Agreed. Do something if you're here. Do something.
You know what I mean? Come on. I'm not asking for much. Just like it up if you haven't subbed yet, you know, and you want to come back. Hit the subscribe button, and you know that's all. But yeah, I mean, you guys, yeah, I mean, you guys are hitting it head on. You guys are kind of seeing exactly what I'm seeing here. It's just, I don't know how. I don't know how all this. I don't know how all this would have came out in trial if this went to trial, like, and the prosecution be able to like go in any direction after that. So that's why I truly believe that there was no way this was ever going to trial or going to be able to go to trial because of this information.
Bro, do you know how many of these officers would have been impeached in their testimony by the defense?
Welcome,
if it
Donna.
did go to trial? Many of these officers' testimony would have been impeached by their own supplemental report.
Okay. So, well, the reports we have, okay, the 300 that I think it's 300, right? 300 and change or whatever. That's all ISP or
Moscow
MPD.
Police.
Those are just Moscow Police Department supplemental reports.
Okay,
That's
so so aside from these 300 reports, is there other information that you know we're kind of still waiting on from other agencies that we'd be able to see?
I mean, yeah, we still need ISP's paperwork for what they did. We need their reports. We need their supplementals. We need their, right. Same for Latah County Sheriff. Same for FBI. Same for
Washington State.
Whoever, whatever agency fucking assisted, bro.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania, right?
Pullman.
But yeah,
Pullman
I just don't know how long that takes. I guess my question, like, can they, you know, are they obligated to put it out?
So here's the thing. I guess it all depends if any of these other agencies are going to do what MPD did, follow suit, create a link where they just put up all of their shit that they did, right? They may do that. I highly doubt it. It could happen. It could be that like Pullman puts out their own, Pennsylvania puts it up on their own. I don't know, but ISP, you know, but who knows, dude?
Yeah, I'm just,
probably
I guess I'm just,
FOIA everything, and they're going to tell you to go fuck yourself when you put in your FOIAs.
but how come they put these out like basically during, you know, the hearing?
Yeah, well, that's the scary thing. Nobody made them put this out when they put it out, right? Hippler said
but
that
do you guys see the dates on all the reports?
Well, aren't they mixed and matched? Like they're giving them in the wrong order a lot of times?
No, all the reports, if you look on the left-hand quarter, it looks like most of them were all ready to go by July 8th. And if I remember correctly, he took the plea on the 2nd, right?
Mm-hmm.
My point was just going to be that this is obviously what they wanted to give us, right? They had it, and it was prepared in advance.
Oh, good.
I swear
It was
that's not
prepared.
me.
It was prepared in advance. So what, they dropped this like the day after the sentencing hearing, and it was all curated, all redacted, and they had built a website. So this is clearly what they want us to have, what they want us to be looking at, and I find that kind of scary.
Well, what they did, it looks like, is that he took the plea on the 2nd, and once they knew he took the plea, that's when they said, okay, now, because the gag has been lifted, he took the plea, all that happens next is sentencing, we're just going to release all this shit. So each agency can decide to do the same thing that Moscow Police did here, where they just release all of their stuff, that the records that their agency retains pertaining to the case. They could do what MPD did and just release it all.
Right? They could make you FOIA. They could just make you FOIA everything, couldn't they?
Correct. Yeah, that's what I mean. If it comes down to you got a FOIA, yeah.
So the fact that they're just giving it to you and letting every Tom, Dick, and Harry just see it out in the open means to me that if the real good stuff that they want to hide isn't in there. You know what I mean? Like, because they don't have to do this. They don't have to be giving us this information this quickly in this manner. Am I wrong?
Yeah. Andy, are you home?
No, why?
Oh, okay. No, I was going to ask if you'd be able to bring up that one supplemental request I was talking about an hour ago. It's all good.
I mean, I'm gonna be home in like I'm gonna be home in like 2-3 minutes. I can
Okay.
pop. I'll come back up on the computer.
With the
I'm gonna be
laptop. All
able
right, yeah, that'd be great. You're gonna kill the whole bottle, dude. You got another one?
I do, but I don't think one more is going to cut it. To be honest with you, 3 is about my
Well,
number.
I just hope that a lot of these other agencies, like Latah County Sheriff and Idaho State Police specifically, I hope they follow suit and decide, rather than getting tens of thousands of FOIA requests for the same information, let's just do what Moscow did and post all right. Just put it all up and everybody can go get it. So I'm hoping that's what they do.
I don't think they're going to do that.
I don't think so, but I mean, we can all hope.
Let me turn her up a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Your mic was really low.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. You there?
Yeah, is that better?
Yep. So what's your take on all this?
Drugs. Scott Green.
Drugs?
Yeah, the drugs have to have something to do with this crime. To me, it can't just be a coincidence.
Mm-hmm. Well, have we seen any reports where any drugs were recovered?
Yeah, the Adderall. Or
I don't care about blue powder. Yeah, I don't care about crushed up blue powder. I'm talking about did they recover any stashes, any wads of money, yada yada yada, or was that maybe gotten rid of before Ali arrives, and that kind of
that there was 8 hours for them to deal with that, right?
Yeah. So that's
how about
a lot of time.
Toothache? I mean, that toothache story has got to be one for the ages. I mean, who out there is Jeff? Is Jeff H buying the toothache story? He probably is.
Probably.
You know the toothache story that I'm talking about?
Absolutely not.
So you remember how both Dylan and Bethany were calling their parents at like 7 a.m, right? When they were supposed to be sleeping. They've got legal statements saying they were sleeping, but they yet were calling their parents. And Bethany apparently claims that she had a toothache and her dad's a dentist. So she was calling her dad for advice on how to handle this toothache. So after a night of snorting Adderall and playing drinking games and being so drunk that you can't even tell the difference between a gun and a knife and a vacuum cleaner and a fireman, the first thing that a 20-year-old girl is going to want to do is call your dad and speak to your dad when you're in that shape and say, "Daddy, my tooth hurts. Well, by the way, I'm wasted." I just can't. Put it this
right?
way.
You call you still have drunk and you're worried about your tooth. Okay.
It'll be hell to pay.
Yeah. So listen, I bet they've never been up at that time since they've started at that college. That was the first morning they'd ever been up that early on a Sunday, because they know damn well what they heard and what happened. Period. And why lie to law enforcement? Why'd both of them lie?
They're not calling their dad for a toothache. That's for damn sure.
No, 7:30 in the morning, and then you're calling your whole family. Like, come on.
Dylan called her dad too. Did she have a toothache too?
Right. It's called. Normal people go down to the freaking pharmacy or somewhere and get some kind of Oragel and put it on that shit. Like, she's calling her family. What the hell are they gonna do? Say or something? Come on, man. It just amazes me how people. He probably does believe that, to be honest with you. That's something that he would believe.
Well, I still remember him telling me that the reason they didn't know that Xana was deceased is because they propped up a ladder and they peered through the window. But the window wasn't just open. There was like a curtain, one of those curtains that you could sort of see through. So he had concocted this elaborate story of a ladder and a curtain that you could just see shadows through. And obviously this was all just in his head to justify the fact that the story didn't make sense. And I just couldn't believe the mental gymnastics required to come up with something like that.
Yeah. I just can't imagine being in the shoes of somebody that can believe something like that. It's amazing how many people you see around that don't have common sense, dude. And you realize how valuable common sense actually really is.
Well, and how
you really do.
How an authority figure, when an authority figure says this is what happened, some people are just willing to do mental gymnastics to make everything line up with that, because they don't want that authority figure to be wrong. They don't want, if they heard it on Ashley Bamfield or Nancy Grace, it's gospel. And there's no way it can be wrong. There's no way some punk on YouTube with a lit up football behind him knows more than Nancy Grace. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But here's the problem with all these, people that, Nancy Grace and all of them. If any of them had a debate that with somebody that actually read the documents, they'd get cooked, because they don't actually read the shit. They're told like little tidbits of information that, get them fired up. And that's what they harp on. Asking them questions about anything with documents. What are you pointing at?
Jeff H is commenting that he was right.
What he said?
I don't know, but it's got to be fun.
I'm just keeping him in there because he's entertaining. I was right about Bethany, wondering if it was being pranked.
You reminded me, I was watching Pete. You know Pete with Murder Metal Mayhem?
No, who's that?
Pete Alteri. He's friends with Convict's Thoughts and Lucky, Pete Alteri. Anyways, he was doing a live, and they were talking about. He was talking to a guy named Devil's Advocate, who's also on here, and he was in the line at the sentencing hearing outside, waiting to get into the courtroom, and apparently right in front of him was the Associated Press and Fox News. And apparently Fox News sent a guy who's just not even covered the case, doesn't know anything about it, like doesn't even know who's any of the names of he doesn't even know who Dylan and Bethany are, basically. And the guy from Fox News turns to the guy at the Associated Press and says, look, they sent me here to cover for another guy. I don't know what's going on. Can you give me the quick, 1, 2, 3 to get me up to speed? And the Associated Press guy turned to him and said, yeah, this guy, Brian Koberger, went to the vegan restaurant, the Mad Greek, fell in love with this Maddie girl and got really jealous, and then stabbed all these kids up to death in that 1122 King house. That was his getting up to speed with the Fox News. So these are like the massive channels, right? Fox and Associated Press. And this is what they're talking about. And that has all been thoroughly debunked. It's all completely fake news.
Yeah, most of the shit they talk.
Nobody with a half a brain should have ever been believing that shit.
Yeah, I mean, even if you listen, it's a shame, because even if you listen to some of the impact statements, a lot of their information that they're saying was debunked. You know what I mean? Like they were sleeping, this, that, and the third. It's like they're still being misinformed. So even the families, are being lied to, and obviously we know that because of Steve. Steve's pissed, dude.
Yeah, Steve's reading this. That's the thing about Steve is as many flaws as the guy has, he does.
So I guess that's my question to the guilters then. If all these people are getting mad at us for having this opinion about something's fucked up and this, that, and the third, how come all y'all are mad at Steve? It's okay that Steve thinks that the university's covering shit up and this, that, and the third, but when we say it, we're the devil. Come on, man.
And will it get to the point when Steve turns on guys like Daniel and Gray Hughes? I mean, right now, what has Steve got to be thinking about some of the stuff that
they lied to him?
Daniel fed him, right?
Yeah, they all lied to him.
Steve looks like a bloody fool over that story that please don't quote me saying Steve is a fool. I'm saying Steve looked like a fool based on the 911 call that he described to us with Hunter Johnson being summoned to kick down the door. He gave a very descriptive, very detailed story about the 911 call, and it was thoroughly debunked. And somebody gave him that information, and he should be furious at whoever described. I mean, obviously Steve wasn't there. He could only be operating on third-party information, and whoever that third party is, Steve should be kicking his door in and giving him a toothache. Let him call his dad.
Well,
and tell him
I saw he recently had a conversation on Ashley Bansfield's channel, and somebody said that he mentioned that he was what did he say, that he was lied to, right? That like, you know, that they completely lied to him. But when I watched it, I really didn't like hear him say that. I just heard him say that about the university, and that basically the victims are, you know, the price to pay for, you know, them wanting to make all this go away, which is wild to hear him say that.
that was the one on the phone from the corner bar.
Say that again.
Well, I think the most recent one I saw, the most recent interview with Bamfield was a phone interview. He was just on the phone. You couldn't see his face.
She called him.
He was at the corner bar in Moscow, and he was pissed. And he was, you know, he was saying that this was a cover up for the university, and he was pissed.
What's up, Ledge?
I hope I hope Steve reads this and just sees that, you know, all these inconsistencies, all this information that was withheld from us, who's friends with who knows what.
And not just us, though, but it was withheld from him, withheld from the families. You know, they're being told all this shit. I said it was withheld. I mean, it was withheld not just from us, but from the victims' families. That, you know, not knowing how your child died for 2.5 years and thinking one thing, and now you're finding out another.
Well, it was even worse than that,
tough,
because you were using him somebody was using Steve by feeding him these narratives and letting him parrot them out to Dateline and News Nation and Ashley Bamfield and Brian Enton, and they were running with all these. And I mean, if you just go and do a checklist of all the fake news stories from Brian Enton, Ashley Bamfield, Drunk Turkey, Jeff H., you know, all those guys.
Yeah.
And speaking as if it's fact, you're going to be pretty busy coming up with that list. Let me tell you.
Yeah. Listen, I gotta mute for like 1 minute if Annie dropped down. But I know Diane, you were kind of giving your opinion on it all. So what do you feel? Let me ask you this: what do you think about the whole Jack Showalter thing? About, you know, number one, everything they found, but number two, hearing that, you know, he basically fled to Boise right after this happened. What are your thoughts? Is she turned down again?
Her internet connection might not be good enough to allow her to speak.
Diane, are you there? All right. Nope. All right, Diane, you might have to drop down, and I can put the link back in chat for you if you want to hop back up. We can't hear you. So yeah, so real quick, dude, what the hell's going over there in Thailand?
They've been fighting over some temple for an awful long time. I don't know the specifics of it, but there is a long-standing disagreement between Cambodia and Thailand, and it's, you know, sometimes they shoot each other across the border, and it escalated into bombing military bases. So a few people have been killed, and it's unfortunate. What can I say?
Yeah, I woke up to the news, and I was like, oh shit, you were the first person I thought of. I was like, oh shit, I hope Jesse's all right, because I saw like they were talking about somebody crashed into a petrol station and blew up, and I was like, what the hell?
Well, I was in Cambodia 6 weeks ago, and I actually have a flight booked to Cambodia like in next week, but I'm not going to be on it. It's a budget airline, so I can't change the dates or get a refund. So I'm going to Vietnam instead. I'll be in Vietnam in a week from today.
Vietnam. Diane, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep. There you are. I wonder where Miss Potts went. I wonder if Miss Potts dropped down to come up on her laptop. So yeah. So did you hear my question, or no?
I know certain people, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I knew 2 days after he was arrested, he would be convicted. It was all set up. That town, which I will never go into, is funded by the university. You know, that's how that town survives.
Mm-hmm.
It's the university and the drugs. Flat out. Pullman's the same way.
Mm-hmm. So you think that's
It's
what? So do you think
Do
that's what they were doing? Do you think that's what they were doing in the 8-hour time frame? Is getting rid of everything?
in the 8 hours, I don't think Dylan and Bethany did anything in cleanup because they're both dumbasses. So I wouldn't trust them with, well, maybe they did. There was a latent footprint left behind.
Mm. Yeah.
The-
Like, I never really did a drug or cartel thing. Because, like, when it comes to cartels, they usually, take out everybody in the home and don't leave any survivor, especially if they're seen or whatever. So the cartel
Normally
thing
they
never really
don't.
made sense to me.
Normally they do not leave
Yeah,
any
I still,
witnesses.
no, even those children, nobody. I mean, they don't care. They'll take out they'll blow up an airplane to kill like one person.
Yeah.
So
They knew
they're not going to leave 2 witnesses.
they knew 2 weeks before Xana's mother and Maddie's stepmother.
Just
They knew 2 weeks before what was going to happen, and the C people.
did you have your YouTube open in the background?
No,
Okay, great.
I was right
a little bit.
you guys got the sound effects.
no. I mean, I'm on my phone, but it's paused. You don't normally. The AB does not partner with anyone, especially not Mexicans. They just, they're, hey, we're white. That's, you ain't. But the color of money, green, that means the world to anybody, whether they're inside or outside.
Absolutely.
Now,
well, especially university.
When you start messing with their money and people start getting arrested, oh yeah, they're going to send a message. And that's but what kind of throws me off is Ethan. Why carve up his legs? I mean, if the legs hadn't been carved up, I would say, yeah, it's a hit, but it also looks personal. So I don't know.
And that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the amount of stab wounds and stuff like that. So to me, this is like a rage of some kind of, somebody's on something, or this is very, very, very personal to where there's a lot of anger in these stab wounds.
Let me ask you guys.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Have we seen anything about the carved legs in the recent doc drop? Because, there's another creator who's reporting that he's really happy that there's not anything in the docs about carved legs. And he's a guy that's not very popular. A lot of people don't like him. So, I'm not saying that he's the authority, but he's not known to be a liar. JB Gunner.
Who is it? Oh, no, he's not a liar. He's not a liar.
He's not known to be a liar, and he's like doing victory laps because I guess he's personally offended by anything that implicates who Diane was just talking about, and he's claiming that there wasn't anything in the docs.
He knows better, and he will not tell me he doesn't know better. He knows better.
Design says Kaylee's teeth were knocked out, which Steve said that when. I forget who he was talking to, but he said her teeth were basically like knocked out of her mouth. So that, like, I don't care if you have a glove on, dude. If you're punching somebody's teeth, right, which is
the teeth go right through a glove.
Not just that, you're gonna bruise your hand, you're gonna cut your knuckles, or whatever. And we see at least on one of Brian's hands when he took that picture the next morning, there's nothing.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
Like I said, I knew 2 days after he was arrested, he will be convicted. And, you know, that I'm like, okay, you know, you do you, boo. But
yeah, Roxy, and you know, Ethan, his like the way he was murdered too is very chilling.
that's
I mean,
now see, that is straight up AB.
you know,
Or
Ethan,
yeah, that's they have a book tells, you know, where you go, what to hit, if you're on the ground, what part of the leg, blah blah blah. They have a book. They call it the Bible.
any
They go by it. And Steve knows this. So does his wife. So does JD Gunner, which totally blows me out of the water about him. But last year I got on their Facebook page, the Gonzaleses, and I put, do you really believe he ninja'd? He was a ninja. Coming in the back door, went up the stairs, played dog whisperer, and said, hey, now you stay here for a while till somebody comes to get you. Then goes into the other room and then unalives 2 people. One, where she's unrecognizable. Then he zip lines down to the 2nd floor, turns to an octopus, down to Xana's room. Does them both at the same time. Comes out a fireman carrying a damn sweeper. I got banned, but
now we hear she saw a gun type of some sort with, but sounds like a bayonet or a harpoon. So I don't know if she saw a harpoon gun or she saw a Civil War gun. I don't know what the hell she saw, but supposedly she saw a gun type object. What's up, Annie?
Well, like I said, Willie, she can't just come right out and say she saw a gun because she's already committed because of the 911 call.
Dude, LE switched her words around, bro. Why didn't Ellie put in the PCA that she saw a gun type object if that was literally in the fucking interview paperwork? Explain that to me.
That would make it harder to convict Brian Koberger.
Oh, okay. So we're just picking and choosing now.
And
so
I'm saying that's time that, you know, started going by, and the lack of evidence. And, you know, I had talked to a friend. I'm like, he ain't getting convicted. There ain't nobody going to convict this boy on this shit. There's nothing there. They have nothing but an eyebrow. Fuck. You know?
Well,
we thought,
we thought there was going to be a lot of stuff coming out, you know, but everything that's coming out isn't about Brian.
No,
that's what I'm saying.
It's not. Well, that's why I said, you know, I'm surprised Santa Claus did not jump a lot on the, you know, table, do the Irish jig, and go, we had no evidence, we have nothing, but he said he did it. We win.
Do you think Brian could have been on drugs, Willie?
Say that again.
Do you think Brian was using drugs?
Yeah.
Well, when what's her name mentioned that he was tweaking on heroin and did this, that I think is the most stupidest thing ever. So unless he did some meth or cocaine or some kind of upper before he did this, then okay. But no, I don't think he was using drugs. Dude, he was maintaining a fucking teacher's assistant job at a university and showing up for work. No drug user is doing that. Period. Especially one that was a prior drug user that was ruining his life. So to me, that makes absolutely no sense. The fact that anybody could even think that he was back on drugs. That's my opinion.
I just don't think it was heroin. I know a man who, for 15 years.
But what did he do? He was dabbling in stuff. I mean, what are you talking about?
Like I said, he lives right down the street. I know a man who was right down the street from me. For 15 years, he's been a meth addict. He has not missed one day of work. Got employee of the year every time he turns around. I don't think it was heroin.
Yeah, I mean, but you're talking about like, you know, 1 out of every couple thousand people can, you know, smoke meth every night, and I mean that's completely different than doing heroin all day and doing nothing and not worrying about basically anything, which is, again, I know people that did heroin with Brian, so I know how Brian was when he was on drugs. And so I'm telling you flat out, Brian was on nothing. He was maintaining a job. He maintained an apartment. He literally moved out west, moved his whole life out west and started over. He was not using nothing, in my opinion.
The reason I brought it up is that would explain how he would possibly be mixed up in this through Molly, and because it does feel to me that there's a
but buying drugs and doing a little drugs, dude, is different than like selling drugs and being involved in some kind of criminal enterprise.
Oh yeah.
In my opinion.
No, I don't think he was selling anything.
By being in
I mean, it's a
contact
college,
with
for Christ's sakes. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it does seem that there is connections between, like, I can't zero in on Showalter or Hunter Johnson or Jack DeCour. They all seem to be part of this incestuous, corrupt society, close-knit kind of group that, and they're all, there's too many people lying for it to be just Showalter. Like the evidence of the bloods just certainly does point to Showalter, but then again, why is everybody lying to cover that up? That's the part that doesn't make sense.
Well, I heard
Jeff
that his parents are some important people. Huh?
What? Jeff H., get a grip, dude.
Who?
I see Jeff H. I mean, what the hell is wrong with you? You get a thing with Ryan Upchurch. Give me a break.
Yeah, I don't even. That's why I don't pay him any mind. That's why I just,
heroin.
I just laugh at what Jeff says. Because, like, he said he read all 300 documents. If you read all 300 supplementals, then you wouldn't have this attitude. You would have a completely different outlook then. Because unless you're just that dense. But hey.
Who's that dense?
Oh, where'd Jesse go? He's dropped down. What's up, Benny? K9? You guys there?
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
My sound is good.
I love you. I think it was Miss Potts that said, "Follow the money."
A lot of people said that.
And that will, and somehow it always comes back to the color green of money. Scott Green. What a coincidence! That's his last name. If you do your research on him, he's been caught up in a lot of shit, but never had any consequences because somebody else stood up and took it.
Yeah.
So, hey, I made it up here.
I just saw somebody said I'm ignoring them. I'm not ignoring them. I hate having to go through this. I can only see about 2 or 3 comments at a time. So when chat's going fast, if you write something to me and I don't see it, I apologize. I can only see 2 or 3 messages at a time. So like I said, I apologize. I'm working on getting, set up and everything. So just bear with me.
And when people, let's say I'm the mayor, governor, whatever hell in Moscow, and I've shaken hands with the devil, which would be the AB and the cartel, which do work together in prison, out of prison. That can be, and that's a proven fact. I don't care what JB Gunner says; he knows better.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so K9, what do you think's going on here?
Oh, hey, can you
get somebody else in the thing real quick.
I'm talking through my phone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you just sound like you're far away. Let me see what I can do here. Hold on.
Oh, it's probably for the best. I'm Italian, so I tend to talk loud, so it's probably fine if I sound like I'm far away or quieter.
No, we can kind of still make out what you're saying. What's your take on all this?
Yeah, well, I'm about to stop driving, so I'll be for a second. But so for starters, my first question is: are we just gonna pretend like the whole league never happened? Because remember when the league with Dateline stuff was happening, and Hitler's like, "Oh, we need to hire a special prosecutor to handle this." Is that just like going away now because everything's over? Like that's my first thing. To me, that's still not good. I know the documents are out now, but still not okay that you had somebody potentially compromising a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I mostly
One second. Annie, she's echoing through your mic every time she talks.
Hang on.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know. Yeah. Sorry, K9. You were echoing. I just wanted to.
Oh no, that's okay. I heard it too. I was like, wait a second, I hear myself. But
That's okay. What were you saying?
So on top of the leak thing, I know I've mentioned this in chat a couple times. I've been side-eyeing Payne for a while now, and I mentioned this to Jules also, the other Jules. She mentioned that she got an email saying Payne took a position at University of Idaho and was no longer with Moscow PD. Well, Payne commissioned at University of Idaho, ROTC, and his brother went to University of Idaho also, but WSU and University of Idaho, they are literally both under the same battalion, which means that the WSU cadets come over once a week to do training with the University of Idaho cadets. And until recently, there was a vacancy for the University of Idaho staff. It was like recruiting operations officer, and it's listed as vacant on the University of Idaho page. But since I'm still in the military, I can still go in and see what positions are open. It's not listed on like the government website for open positions. So I don't know if you, hypothetically speaking, he did take that position. I don't know if University of Idaho is just not going to announce it, because even on his LinkedIn page, he's constantly sharing all these ROTC updates. And maybe I'm just speculating, but I mean, rookie jumps on a quadruple homicide case. I mean, that'd be like, I was enlisted before I became an officer. I deployed as both. Can you imagine me? Like, that's like taking a brand new second lieutenant saying, hey, guess what? You're deploying to, Kandahar, Afghanistan. You're in charge of this entire platoon. Go. Like, you don't just do that. There's a reason why we have to, like, work for these positions and stuff. So, I don't know. I've been side-eyeing, and I hate saying that because I'm a military police officer and K9 handler. I hate side-eyeing, I'm a big back to blue person, obviously, but something just does not sit right with me with this whole entire investigation. And I'm not going to lie, in the beginning, I fell for the mass media. I honest to God thought Brian was guilty based off of just looking in the media. But when I took a second and I looked back at everything, and I have to credit Jules of True Confidence, I was like, holy crap. I'm like, I feel horrible for Brian. And I'm also a Pennsylvania native. I actually grew up in near Blakesley, the area, so fairly close to Albrightsville.
Say that again. You're familiar with the area?
Yeah, so I was born in Philadelphia, but I grew up in like Blakesley, Arrowhead Lakes.
No shit. Where?
Yeah.
No shit. So you know where like let's see. You know where like Bellamy is, and you know where like Shenanigans is, and Lake Harmony and all that?
Oh, Lake Harmony, yep, absolutely.
Okay, so you know where
police officers.
So you know where Nick's Lake House is then? That restaurant right there? Like by Split Rock?
It's Split Rock, okay, yeah. So I know where Jack Frost Big Bowl is.
Yeah,
I used to all the time growing up, so
wow, so you're okay.
Yeah, I love
small world. Because that's where I grew up too. I grew up in I grew up in Albrightsville, which is obviously borders Blakesley. But yeah, I go to Blakesley all the time to go to like A Hearts or the Wawa there, and
oh my God, A Hearts, yes. I used to love going there. Just like, I don't know. I used to go over to where they kept the lobsters, and I'm just like, oh, look at these live lobsters. They're so cute. And my dad's like, they're not cute. I'm like, well, for me, growing up, they were. But anyway, so when did...
Sorry, I mean, if somebody has something if you guys have something, you need me to like see right away. I'm trying my best here. If you want to leave, that's fine. Sorry, go ahead, K9.
No, that's fine. I was just saying, what was the date that the PSP went to Brian's house again? I can't remember off the top of my head.
Went to... I don't know. Anybody know? Annie? Christy?
Went for his house for what? What do you mean?
What was the question?
When did the Pennsylvania State Police go to Brian's house to arrest him?
December like 29th, 30th, early morning hours of the 30th, I think. It was like 1:50 in the morning, I think.
Yeah.
Is that when it was?
Yeah.
So okay, so New Year's, almost New Year's Eve, day before New Year's Eve.
I'm on my laptop if you want anything pulled up.
Oh, okay. No, I was just. Yeah, I was just gonna bring up the one, just the one supplemental to show the just all the stuff they found in Jack's place and all that jazz.
Okay.
I don't know if Annie came back on her laptop.
Oh yeah,
No, P, I
well,
forgot
that's
to
what I
say
was
hi.
doing when I hopped down. But I was looking for one because I'm looking for the one of his interview in Pennsylvania after his arrest.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty interesting. I think the one you're talking about though is like number 77, if I remember correctly.
So, yeah, the one that the shower curtain and all that. Yeah, because to me that all that's so important. And then fleeing to Boise, I just don't know how that's not enough evidence to be considered an alternate suspect in that case.
Okay. 77 is the one about the kid who admits he like went into their house when they weren't home. And he was still there when they got there and they didn't know he was there. That's what number 77 is.
So it seems like anybody at any point in time could have went in that house and been waiting in the closet for whoever to get home. I mean, it seems like that's how open that house was.
I mean, they could have been hanging out in that first floor bedroom that was allegedly empty and nobody was using. Payne says when he got there, that room had shit strewn about the room and there was a bed and it was kind of a mess, but he doesn't say what was strewn about the room. That's the room that had the golf clubs in it.
Okay. Because like I'm hearing like a couple girls had their teeth smashed, right? Like, okay, that could be hands, but it could also be some sort of weapon, because smashing teeth are hard. You know what I mean? They're very, very, like, that's the hardest part of your body, I believe. Your teeth.
Yes, Jeff. In the dark. You're
77.
totally correct.
No, I have 77 pulled up if you want to present it, Willie. It won't let me present it.
Yeah. Here we go. Let's see.
Okay, now let me go back. Hold on. Stupid thing. Shit.
Let's see who's out here.
Okay, can you see me moving it?
Say it again.
Do you see me moving it?
Yep.
Okay. I can't see the screen when I do this.
Okay, that's fine. Does it allow you to zoom in at all?
Is that okay?
Yeah, to me a little back a little more. You can go. All right. A little bit more. Perfect. All right. That's back where you were.
Right there.
No, just there you go, right there.
Sorry, real quick. Does anyone in chat remember which supplemental report number is the one for the apartment? I thought it was 77, but it's not.
Is this? I thought is this so the one that's up right now is this the one, Christy?
This is 77. Mrs. Potts said this is the one that it's the interview.
Looking into the house.
The one they went to the house.
So this isn't Jack.
I'm looking.
No.
Hold on.
Okay.
I can't remember.
I think it's 73. Hold on. Is it this one?
Let's see. Blood swab. Okay, let's see. For Queen Road, the residence of Jack. Yep, I think it was it. Yeah, if you could just zoom in again to where we had it before, it'd be perfect. And then I really appreciate it.
Like I said, I can't see the screen.
Back up.
I can't see the screen. I can't see anything. I can only see this right now. So
that's okay.
Sorry, I hope it's good.
That's all right. If you could just like make the whole thing your whole screen, and if you could just zoom in a little bit. Just so I could read it a little bit, like literally just a tad, just boom, boom. Little too far. Yeah, a little too far. Just back a little bit.
It won't let me make it my whole screen.
That's fine. I'll just relay this. So it says, back a little bit. No. Okay, just you can just leave it to where it was in the beginning, because
There
now,
we go.
yeah, that's fine. So it says item 261, 262, 263, 264 blood swab. So I applied for and was granted a search warrant for I'm not sure what his numbers are. Queen Road, the residence of Jack Showalter. The warrant was based off the following information. OFC House and I responded. So Officer House and I responded to Queen Road at approximately I can't see 1,000 hours on 11/15/22. We walked on the common walkway in front of the door to Showalter's apartment and observed the exterior of the door. The area around the door had numerous spots of a dried fluid, which appeared to be rust drops from a metal roof above the apartment's door. These drops were mainly on the wall next to the door frame, not the frame itself. I observed what appeared to be a different fluid spot on the door, approximately 8 inches up from the bottom of the door, under the doorknob. I also noticed the deadbolt plating was clean, polished silver, and had no dirt on it. I walked away from the door in order to conduct an interview on a possible witness. Officer House and several members of the ISP forensics unit, to include Detective Hugh Powell, walked back to the Queen Road. Whatever. If you can scroll down a little bit. All right. I met back up with Officer House and Detective Powell a short time later, and they told me they believe the spot of dried fluid on the door displayed similar to characteristics to that of dried blood. Namely, Detective Powell stated the spot displayed a crackling texture common when blood dries on its surface. The spot also displayed a similar drop pattern to the blood spots found on the banister wall and wall on the stairwell to the ground floor, which I observed inside 1122. The spot also displayed a similar drop pattern to the blood spots found on the banister wall and wall on the stairwell to the ground floor, which I observed inside 1122. Wow.
Uh-huh. Keep going.
Wowzers.
They ever test
So even
that
as they're
blood?
writing this, so even they're seeing the similarities of the drop patterns are saying, and this is law enforcement. Wow.
Did they ever test that blood?
Yeah. Which ones? No. They did, but they supposedly stopped and didn't look in any further because they had Brian Koberger's name. Remember?
Oh yeah, that's right.
I'm guessing if it looked like the blood that they already didn't test in the house, they're probably. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. We have samples of blood from the house that never had anything till this day, as far as we know, done with them for CODIS or IgG. So my guess is that they matched the. If they look similar, is probably a no. It's probably a no.
All right. So Officer House also told me he looked at several other doorknobs and deadbolt plates on doors in the same apartment complex, all of which had a fine layer of dust. Officer House also confirmed Showalter's door did not have the same layer of dust as though it had been cleaned off. Huh. I returned to MPD and was notified by Detective Vargas, who was reviewing security camera footage provided by the owners of Linda Lane, of possible footage of someone walking by the cameras at 50 hours on 11/13/22. So that's the dude I'm talking about?
Yes.
There it is. Holy smokes.
Is it the same
right.
guy that said that's it? Like it's final, it's done.
Oh my God, I'm smiling so hard right now.
It's the guy that we seen. It's the guy that we seen on Linda Lane that comes up the road, walks past the dumpster, and heads over towards 1122.
Yes, and like I said, that's been my, he's been in the back of my mind the whole time. It's just nobody really talks about that guy. So I'm glad to see that. Okay. I watched, let's see what it says. I watched the film with Detective Vargas. The camera showed the parking lot of Linda Lane, which is situated directly south of Queen Road. The frame captures a portion of the Queen Road parking lot in front of. I gotta stop redacting all this shit, but does not capture the apartment themselves. The area of Queen Road is also much darker than Queen. I don't know what they're trying to say. Or numbers Linda Lane. The video is infrared and is thusly displayed in black and white at approximately 350 or 350 per timestamp on the video. A figure clad in dark clothing can be seen walking from the building, which sorry, it's just so fucking small. Which a figure clad in black, dark clothing could be seen walking from the building. I'm sorry, I tried that. Can you zoom in a little bit? I can't see shit. I'm gonna be honest with you. Thank you. Right there.
Clad in black.
Perfect. Okay. I was struggling there, but let's see. 300 stream video. Okay, a figure clad in black clothing can be seen walking from the building, which houses Queen Road, and so I'm guessing they're giving numbers there. The figure walks to the west of the parking lot and leaves the frame of the video as the figure enters the sidewalk area between the two other apartment buildings at Queen Road. The terminus sidewalk is immediately east of 1122 King Road. The figure is not captured by the camera any further. Based off the information above, MPD and ISP officers served a search warrant on the exterior of the front door, Queen Road. Access to the residence per the search warrant was granted only if the presumptive positive test for blood was found on the exterior door. Nothing was found during the search, and the warrant was returned. Wow. Okay. So, did they talk any more about this guy? Let's scroll down a little bit. Is that it for this one?
I think so.
No.
Oh, there's more?
No. Okay. Hold on. Let's see. Okay. On 11/23/22, MPD Officer Morris was contacted by Jack Showalter, a maintenance worker, for. Say it again. Is it not Jack Show?
I don't think so, because I think it's the maintenance worker. But go ahead.
Maintenance worker. Yeah, maintenance worker just has the same initials.
Okay.
But I don't know why they fucking redact all this stuff. Just use first names for Christ's sakes. Was contacted by JS, a maintenance worker for whatever, which manages Queen Road. He told Officer Morris he conducted a routine maintenance order on Queen Road on 11/22, wherein he discovered something of note. I had Officer Morris call him and place him on speakerphone so I could talk to him. I asked him to tell me what he found. He told me he and another maintenance worker entered the apartment on 11/22/22 in order to check on a water quality complaint made by the tenant. Both men checked the sink and did not notice any issues. He said he entered the only bathroom in the residence and began to inspect the drain when the other maintenance worker advised there appeared to be blood on the shower curtain. He said he looked and discovered what appeared to be two separate smudge marks on the shower curtain, which appeared to be dried blood. He described the smudges as 1 inch by 1 inch. He said he then noticed another smudge of what appeared to be dried blood on the toilet flusher handle. He added there appeared to be spatter of dried blood near the light switch on the interior wall of the bathroom. So this seems like somebody panicking running into the bathroom. I asked him to describe the marks. He told me they appeared to be reddish brown in color. He added, I've seen dried blood before, and the marks appeared to be similar to that. He added, the only thing he did in the restroom was flush the toilet in order to check the water quality. He said the toilet appeared clean, but became clogged when he flushed it. He noticed it was odd that the toilet became clogged. He said he and his counterpart then left the apartment. I asked him if anyone else had reason or means to access the apartment besides he or Showalter between the time he left and the current time. He said no. So you can't tell me at this point Jack isn't in their in their scope. No way you're going to tell me he wasn't on their radar.
If he wasn't, then that's very sus.
Exactly. I served a search warrant with ISP investigators Jeff Talbot, Hugh Powell, and Jake Schweik. We discovered the blood smears and spots in the locations described. In addition, there were more blood spatter spots on the wall on the entry into the living room. Samples of each were collected, 94 in total.
Holy crap.
94 in total. But supposedly that is a typo. It's supposed to say 4 because you usually put a number before, you usually make it a double-digit number and not just fuck up the actual just digit. But anyway, and ISP Detective Talbot took photos of the residence. Upon completion, I left the required paperwork on the couch in the living room, and Detective Talbot took a photo of it. All units were cleared without further incident. The search warrant was returned on 12/4/22. I clarified under penalty of perjury. Yada 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 yada. So, right there is what is huge. Is basically blew my mind. Is there's so much blood in this guy's place, and my question is why? And why is his toilet clogged? And what the fuck was he trying to flush?
Yeah, they said the toilet was clean, but when they flushed it, it got clogged. Like, that's odd. Like, I don't know. You're right. It sounds like somebody was in a hurry running around. I don't know. Like, your curtain has smears on it, but I don't know. Just red flags everywhere.
You know what I mean?
Somebody panicked, ran inside, had it on them, was hurrying up, trying to get clean up, and they
trying to flush something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it just that in itself, right? Just that information in itself. I don't know how, as a judge, you can sit there and tell the defense that they can't use that person as an alternative suspect. How is that not enough evidence? Just that in itself, let alone him fleeing to Boise and everything else we can dig up.
I'm from Indiana, and I can tell you, Judge, the Delphi judge, anything the defense brought up before they even got it out of their mouth, denied. No, that ain't gonna happen. No. So it happens.
So the blood's not Jack's apartment. The blood is not Jack's apartment. So when the officer asked the maintenance guy if the maintenance guy or Jack, if anybody else had any access to the apartment, and he said no, so now the maintenance guy's lying. Got it. Okay.
I got to drop down. My grandbabies are here, but thank you for having me. Miss Potts, love you to death. Christy and
well, have a good day.
Jules. Yeah, I'll be listening.
Have a good day, hon.
Bye.
Thank you. Thanks for coming up.
Thanks. Have a good day, everybody.
All right. Have a good day. Enjoy your weekend.
You too.
Is there any more docs you want to see?
No. I mean, I just wanted to.
There's somewhere in a prior one of these supplementals, okay, before this one. So this is like the more extensive. Is that the one that you just read that had like the 90? They collected 94 in total.
Yeah, it said 94. Yeah.
Okay. So in one of these earlier docs, and I don't remember which number it is, I think the reason that people are under the assumption that this is Showalter's apartment is because there is an earlier document that suggests that the reason that they went to this apartment to begin with is because this is the apartment of the person who was with the girls that night at the grub truck.
Which, in my opinion, is even worse. If if that much blood's in somewhere that's not his apartment.
I guess what I'm saying is that I even was saying this in my live show, Walter, if it's not your apartment, sorry, dude. But in one of the early documents, they're kind of like, even though the initials, the names are redacted, you can see the initials, and they're talking about the whole reason they're even going there to begin with. It has something to do with this apartment belongs to the person who was with the two girls.
I ain't gonna do shit, Twiz. Gotcha. I guess that's just
kind of clarify that.
Yeah, no, I guess it's just, I don't know what's worse, having that much blood in your own apartment or somewhere that's not your own apartment. It's just, I don't know. To me, that's just very suspicious. And then the toilet's clogged. Like what? Like you said, what's
I
down
think
there? A
it's
K-bar?
like, it doesn't sound like anybody even popped the lid on the toilet to like check the tank
Yeah. Is
to make sure
is
nothing was
Showalter
stuffed in the tank.
Well, that would be the
is Showalter
pipes.
the one that like was skinning animals allegedly, or like is he the one that was like the hunter who was skinning animals allegedly?
Yeah, people are saying that he was that it's animal blood or something. So, and I don't know how we know
Well,
that.
no, I don't think it is. And the reason I
Town
don't
boy.
think it is because the initial warrant to search
Mhm.
the apartment inside would not be granted unless the blood on the door out front tested positive for human blood. It was the only way the court would give them the warrant to
Yeah.
search the rest of the
Well,
apartment.
why are they comparing the pattern of the blood that they found at Jack's to anything that has to
Exactly.
do with
Yeah.
the murder scene?
We don't know whose apartment it is. They're
You know
alluding
what I
to
mean?
the fact that it's the person who was with them. But I mean, that's why I always say disclaimer. We don't really know. And, fucking, I don't know shit. I don't know shit. And read the docs yourself and come to your own conclusions.
Yeah.
This
I guess it's just to me, it's just crazy that you have law enforcement saying that these blood patterns are adding up, but yet they don't test that blood that the spatter matched
Not
up
even
to.
that.
What the fuck?
Legally, they could not get a search warrant for the rest of the apartment unless the blood outside tested positive for human blood. It's the only way they got the warrant to get inside.
Bullshit animal blood at a college. Only thing that boy's hunting at college is women. Last for 24, you're funny. But yeah, so and what's up? So I didn't even notice this. They mentioned that person walking across Linda Lane and stuff. But did they go back to that person and talk more about it, or is that it? They just mentioned somebody walking across and move
That's
on.
it.
Wow.
That's it. Now, the doc I have pulled up now is number 73. I think this is the one, Miss Potts, that you're talking about, because it goes on. It's kind of starts out like the other one, but then in the middle of it, it says about asking for a search warrant, Nat, for the other apartment. I don't know if you want. I don't know if you want to read that one or not, but that's
the only way they could. The only way the court would give them permission to even get inside the apartment is that, like, the court saying, "Okay, so you think you saw a drop of blood on the front door, 8 inches from the doorknob or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Go test it and make sure it's actual blood, and then maybe I'll give you a search warrant." And then they had a little bit more to get in because now the maintenance worker is providing a statement that he has seen blood in the apartment. The blood is outside has tested positive for human blood, which is how the court gave them permission to go serve the search warrant. And the reason they had to leave the papers on the couch and photograph it is because the person wasn't there when they served the search warrant. The person wasn't home.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you would have handed the search warrant papers to the tenant.
I thought it was an empty apartment for some reason. It just I don't know. I mean, this is just no fact, no nothing here. For some reason, I thought I heard that apartment was an empty apartment. But that don't make sense if they left the paperwork on the couch. Okay, maybe I'm wrong on that. Sorry.
I mean, I don't think it was empty. They're saying there was furniture in there. It had a shower curtain. So it is what it is. I just know that the reason they had to leave the paperwork on the couch and photograph it is because the person they were serving the search warrant on, whoever apartment that is, they weren't home.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. I don't know why I thought that. I could swear I remember hearing that, but
So he said in the past that he has waited in a closet or something watching the girls. Is that true?
No, not whoever this apartment is. There is a tip that came in.
Okay.
There's a tip that came in to Chief Fry, and Chief Fry is the one who writes up the report on it regarding him being told this kid who was born in like 2003. Basically, the story, the gist of it is like he allegedly
two different girls.
Yeah, he allegedly followed Xana and Maddie to the Mad Greek, and then while they were at work, he went back to their house and went inside And then when they got home, they didn't know he was still in the house. And the comment that he made to this person who reported the tip was something to the effect of like, they didn't even know I was there. I could have killed them all if I wanted to.
Yes.
Yeah, 3 years, no forensic test. Yeah, they didn't test the blood, and it seems like they're never going to test the blood unless, you know, somebody's forced to, or somebody looks into it. But who knows if the profiles even still exist? Who knows what they destroyed and what's still left? That's if they'll knock down the crime scene and bury it, and then Annie's telling me they poured chemicals all over the shit before they buried it, which tells me that even if they need to dig something up, you know, to find, you know, you can't even do that because
they had to put like some kind of chemicals or enzymes or whatever because they were burying it like in the ground. You can't just like dump a whole house that you've demolished in the ground with piping and all of this shit. You know what I mean?
I just don't understand. Like, there's no way you don't have empty. Yeah, but there's no way you don't have empty factories in that whole fucking town to not like knock it down in a way where you can reconstruct it, or at least preserve, like, you know, parts of the home, or what, you know what I mean? But you just knock it down, bury it, and then everybody's just supposed to forget about it. Like, that's, come on. that's just sick to me. And then it all ties back to Green. So it sounds like he was calling the shots, and then you're telling me he's sitting in on briefings and shit with law enforcement. That, I mean, that's absolutely absurd. So that's why I said this is the most corrupt case, at least in my lifetime, that I've seen. You know, this is like making up a murderer times 10. You know.
Yeah.
I just hope, I mean, what do we have, 38 days? I mean, what does he have, 39, 38 days left to appeal? Like, I just hope something happens. It's not even him. It's his defense team.
If he doesn't appeal, what if he doesn't? What if there is no appeal? Like, at that point, he's accepting that, like, even though the forensic evidence would show that there's definitely more than one person in this crime scene, right? There's definitely more than one, but he's willing to not file an appeal and take the hit and say, just me, like, nothing anybody can do about that shit. You know what I mean? I guess the question would be, you know, that's on him. Everybody should be,
but
you know,
wouldn't that be
who he was there with? If he's claiming that, you know, bullshit. If he's saying it's him, then he knows who else was bleeding in the crime scene.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like maybe this is I'm just trying to have some kind of hope. Like, maybe this is the reason his defense team didn't come out and talk, because they didn't want to like give away kind of like what, you know, they were going to do next, or like just give nobody nothing, so nobody's talking about it, and they're just doing everything behind the scenes. That's what I want to believe, but you know, I've been let down many times before by his defense team. So,
well, I mean, technically, you know, the quickest way, I guess, if you believe that you have a biased judge and a biased court and you're never going to get a fair anything, I guess the quickest way would be give me an appeal, right?
Yeah.
Give me a plea so that I can appeal and get me out of this bullshit, right? I guess that could be a plan, but I don't know how good of a plan it is, but I guess we'll see, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. I just feel like the plan could have went. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like this plan could have went a little different, but I guess not, because, you know, Ann Taylor at that point was a public defender, and like, again, she still has to like pass these people in the supermarkets and gas stations and like around town, and you know, I'm assuming that played into it, because I believe, if just hypothetically, if he had Alan Jackson, Yannetti, Little, and all of them, and they, you know, they were paid, I think they would have fought, and they would have brought all this up in court and not allowed them to bury it. But that's just me.
Yeah, I agree. But thank you, Willie, for allowing me to come up on panel with you guys, and Miss Potts and Christy. Nice to meet you both. But I have to head to work, so you guys have a good day.
You have a good day
you too. I appreciate your opinion.
All right, bye.
All right, have a good one. Enjoy your weekend. I wonder if that's her dog that there's a picture of that was her like dog when she was whatever she did. I love German Shepherds. They're so loyal. Let's see. Jesse, I had to tune out watching My Hunters with my son. That's all good, man. I know you're on like your third bottle of wine. So, Annie, you read any more docs later on, or what are you doing?
Yeah, I think I'm going to.
I just read one doc and I want to bang my head off that glass over there.
What number are you up to? What number are you up to, Ms.
What do
Potts?
I got open here? Let me see.
That's why I like listening.
I know I read through them all, but I love watching and listening to everybody else go back through them because I missed a whole bunch. But they're crazy. I have all wrote down. I think 305 is an interesting one. It's one that
So I was saying
somebody called in saying that they could have they have evidence to clear him, but the cops tried to contact her twice, and one time she said she answered or something, and she said what info she has, she gave the Taylor, and she wasn't talking no more, and then that was it. Like, it don't follow up with anything. So did they just drop it then? Like, how do you get these tips and don't do anything about it?
that's why I think this is the most corrupt case ever, because they're disregarding tips, they're changing information, they're just nobody gives a shit. They're just allowing them to do it, and instead of all of it coming out in trial, just like in Karen Reed, all of the misconduct coming out in trial, the planning of, they were saying they planted all the smashed tail lights, and they had no problem blaming officers or of killing John O'Keefe, nothing, but here it's like, oh, we can't do that, all this can't come out, so we have to plea. It just sucks, I guess, that it has to be done. Like Annie said, this has to be the plan instead of just being able to take it to trial, show the evidence for what it is, and then let a jury decide. But there's no way all this could have came out in trial. People's heads would have blown off, would have blew up. Like, they would have been like, what the? Like, imagine the families in, sitting in trial, hearing all this information for the first time that we're seeing in these documents. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, oof. So, yeah. I
truly believe that most of these people, honestly, for the state, unfortunately, I feel like Payne, Mowry, a lot of these people, their testimonies would have been impeached at trial.
Yeah, I do too.
Right. So, I guess the better question, probably a lot of us are like, why would he ask for a plea? Why would he take a plea? I guess the better question is, if you're the state, why would you even give him one?
Exactly. That's my theory.
When you're telling people that he stabbed one of these people over 50 times and another,
because you don't have any evidence on him.
And what he did is so disgusting and so brutal and so, right? Why would you even if he came to you, even if his defense team came to you and said, hey, he wants to know about a plea option, how are you not, as the state, saying, there's not going to be a fucking plea? He's getting death here. We're going to fucking fight that.
Yeah, I agree. That's what my theory is. Like, the judge heard Bill say, we have nothing that puts Brian at that house. Right there, as a judge, he should have said, okay, then we're going to trial.
Yeah.
Why would you just agree? Okay, well, we have no.
That's what I'm saying. They're all in on it. That's what I'm saying. They're all in on it. That's why this is the most corrupt shit ever, because the prosecutor, the judge, everybody's on the same page to make this go away.
Prosecutors,
look how many people have retired. Look how many people have retired since, with this case. Like, Judge was like, fuck this, I'm out of here. Everybody else is saying they're retiring after this case because, they know they're doing wrong. And it's a shame that they can even lay their heads down at night knowing what they did. That's why Steve can never, he needs to never stop asking questions.
Steve knows there's more than one person. He knows that. You can tell by the things he says that he knows that there's more. How did he hold down?
Absolutely. Well, he wouldn't say that the university is basically using, doing an injustice to the victims if he feels that there was only one person, right? So just how he talks, he 100% feels like there's multiple people.
because I sat there and tried to think of it. Like, think of entering a room, okay, and you got a girl laying there sleeping. They're saying 2 of them. My theory always was Kaylee woke up and heard something. I don't think she was, but anyhow, he goes in there and he's taking care of one, which we hear, we see what all the wounds and everything are. How did you do that? Plus hold down the other one and stab all the, like, I can't see one person being able to do this.
Yeah.
I just can't. And I was the first to say, I mean,
Especially Brian.
Heather will laugh and call me the guilter because I always thought, yeah, you know, he had parts to do with this some way, somehow he's part of this. And after this, a lot of things have changed for me. I just, after reading all these documents and that, like, I'm not saying I don't think he wasn't there. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. I don't know. But I know that I don't believe that, one, they did things right. I think things were corrupt. I think they hid things. I don't think they had a clue who it was. They took the FBI tip and they ran with it and they made things fit just so they could have an arrest.
Absolutely. Before the break was over, so the kids felt safe going back to school. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Too,
oh,
so.
look who shows up. I speak of Lucy and she shows up.
That's right. She's probably watching the whole time, just waiting.
I didn't say your name 3 times. I didn't say it 3 times. So, but
no, I agree. There's something obviously bigger going on, and you know, all I want to know is who the hell are Jack Showalter's parents, because you know, I want to know when and why they looked the other way all of a sudden, because it seems here that they were very, very interested in all these spots and stains and yada yada, and this comparing it to blood drop patterns over at the King Road residence. That's not. I mean, come on, that's not a coincidence. They thought he was involved. That's what that shows me.
Yep. Did you? I don't know, Ms. Potts, if you got to the document yet where they talk about they were in the undercover and that's when they did the Banfield arrests, or got the kids for the DUI and that. It states that they seen the kids coming from 1122. I thought that was kind of interesting. Them 3 boys, they got pulled, they got for a DUI or whatever it was, the alcohol incident. They state in that document that they were driving around the area. They seen them kids go to 1122 and then they seen them leave. And that's when the cops observed one of them falling because he was so drunk. And that's why they got them for the alcohol incident. 1, I never seen them fall. And 2, why they were at 1122? Why? That was 3 a.m.
I do remember something in there too. The officer states that he believes that there was a blonde girl. They're near this dark-colored car or whatever. But I think when people talk about like corruption or whatever, really the fact of the matter is, the courts should not be allowing prosecutors to attach the death penalty to cases for the purposes of leveraging a plea.
Yes.
If you don't intend to follow through when you attach death penalty, you shouldn't be allowed to attach it. And that's just my opinion. It should be automatic that if you attach it to someone's case, you plan to follow through, prove every single accusation, prove your case so that death penalty sentencing can go through. Do you get what I'm saying? So a death penalty jury can be impaneled. We should not be allowing prosecutors to attach the death penalty for the purposes of leveraging a plea. It's bullshit.
Amen. Absolutely. I agree. 100% agree with you on that.
I agree. That's what I mean. Like this, it's just, this whole thing is mind-boggling. But yeah, somebody said both of his parents are physicians and donate a lot of money to the university. That makes sense.
Yes. I heard they're a very big contributor to the university.
So then that tells me, no, it could never be our Jack. That's all I'm hearing. It could never be our Jack.
Nope.
You know?
No. How about the guy that was chopping up chicken? that said that his hand between
Yeah,
his.
well, I've heard about you guys talking about that, but I have yet to know who the hell that is and where that was said.
I'll look here. I have it wrote down. But yeah, he said he was cutting up chicken and did it, but then his friend's like, no, he fell and broke the glass and broke a window or something.
He was cutting up chicken with a pocket knife.
Yeah, it was some kind
That's
of
crazy.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
What is he? What is he
thought cut
camping?
his hand. He went to Gritman on the 13th with lacerations or whatever on his hand. He told them that he was cutting up chicken for his sandwich with a pocket knife. They cut his hand. But his friend is like, no, he was wicked drunk and he actually fell and cut it on into a window. And you know, the glass broke and that's what he cut it on, blah, blah, blah. And the cops say that they saw the window, it was broken and they took photos of it. But I mean,
just weird.
If you're cutting up chicken with a pocket knife, I mean, you probably have bigger concerns than a cut on your hand, a wound, unless that wound wouldn't stop bleeding. You know what I mean? You know how vile that is, bro? You're cutting up chicken for a sandwich.
I know. I was there.
Dirty pocket knife.
Yeah, I was there last night. Wade, I heard Miss Potts last night. You were on late last. I was like, damn, she's gonna be tired the next day. I was starting to nod during your live. That's why when Twiz said he's like, I'm going live, I'm like, dude, there's no way. Like, I'm about to pass out like right now. And then I did.
Twiz and I had a fun conversation.
I watched on replay this morning. I'm like, holy crap, Twiz went live and I was sleeping. What the hell? For like 4 hours. Mrs. Potts like, Twiz, are you mad at me or why are you mad at me? I was laughing.
Hey, look, I got the #1 spot and I didn't have to buy it. If you know, you know. Yeah, screw that bitch. What the hell was her name? Kara?
Oh my god.
Yeah. You guys kicked her for like 10 minutes and I was like, fuck that. She deserves a day. Get out of here. I was like, I think I told her to count to 86,000 and then she can come back because that's how many seconds are in a day. Little bitch. I hate the trolls that are just jealous because, like, you know, we all know how to have grown-up conversations and, you know, they don't fit in because they want to just say the dumbest shit and expect us to just be like, oh yeah, okay. No. We call out dumb shit.
They just come in to fight. And...
No. Well, they're just, no. What happens is they're so used to yes. I call them yes people, right? People that just agree with whatever people say just to kind of, you know, get as much viewers and money as, you know, as they can. I don't give a shit, right? Like, if I don't agree with some, even if we're friends, I'm going to tell you, like, no, I think you're wrong. You know, but so, you know, and they're not used to being told that and they freak out and then they let their emotions get to them. It's like, relax. It's just a conversation, you know, like it's none of us that are in, you know, jail or prison, wherever he's at right now, facing the rest of our lives and didn't do this shit. So, like, relax. We're all on the same page. We're all trying to figure this out, you know, and in my opinion, we're all on the same side, which is, you know, where's the true, where's the true justice in this case? There is absolutely none. And we know that because we see victims' families saying the same thing. When you have victims' families saying that, you know, and they don't feel like they've gotten true justice, I mean, it's a big ass problem. Big ass problem. So sooner than later, Steve's going to be in one of our chats, you know, and he's going to realize why we're all here, and we're not here because we love Brian Koberger. That's not the point, right? We love our freedom. We love our rights, and we want to see true justice carried out. Why is that so much to ask? That makes us,
you know, the devil. I want the actual truth because the fact of the matter is there's If this person was able to inflict basically close to 100 stab wounds on 4 victims in under 6 minutes and leave no blood trail outside, allegedly comes in the second floor, but one of these people on the first floor is hearing fireworks and seeing flashes and stuff. There's obviously something wrong there. And like I said, if he's willing to just say, nope, it was just me. I mean, okay, great. But then there's still a problem with the state's theory. No matter regardless of whether or not you believe he's guilty or innocent. It's not even about that. The problem is that the theory of the state's case, how it happened in that time frame, it just can't be true if it's only one person.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Just
When there's multiple victims that are awake and fighting. Fighting.
And you heard them. I mean, even at the news reporter, the one I watched this morning, I think it might have been, where I forget who it was, said that Xana fought like hell. She really did. So how is her fighting like hell and Ethan didn't wake up? Or Dylan, who's right on the same floor, ain't hearing all of this shit going down?
Yeah. And I still want to know why Ethan was naked. And I don't want to hear they were having sex or something because Xana was waiting on her food.
What was that?
Some guys just sleep naked, dude. They strip down.
I get it. I get it. But Xana was waiting on her food, and I still want to know if that order was for one or two people, because it sounds like a lot of money for just one person to order food if she just ate a couple hours ago. I'm just saying.
Well, I'm still right about the fact that maybe law enforcement kind of took a lot of Dylan's statements and like twisted them up a little bit, or we know that, or whatever you want to call it, because she did tell them.
We know that, but she also lied, Annie.
No. What I'm getting at is that when you look in these supplementals, okay, she did tell them she heard screaming, she heard crying. She knows for sure it was Xana and Kaylee. She was calling for Kaylee after the ruckus. She is like yelling, Kaylee, and no one's answering. So these are all the things that she is telling them. And she did tell them that she did hear screaming, crying, a struggle, right? Like,
she saw a gun.
Left that out. They left that out.
Yeah, and they left out the gun.
Yeah.
Gun type object.
Yep.
Oh, let's not put that in the PCA because we don't have a gun. Oh, I'm sorry. We didn't find a holster at the scene, so let's not say a gun was used. Fucking idiot.
That's why they had to leave that kind of information out about Bethany and Dylan actually hearing what's going on in the house, because it doesn't explain the 8-hour delay.
Exactly,
it doesn't
Jesse.
explain why you waited 8 hours to get help.
Yeah.
If you heard booms, fireworks, saw flashes.
And I don't want to hear you were sleeping till the next day. Right. Yeah, because you were on the device that you use to call for help all night. We know you were on it because we have your fucking records, ladies.
Yep.
I mean,
and that's just mind-boggling. Oh, they were so scared they couldn't dial 911. Really? All they had to do was go boop, 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 boop. But they could do all this deleting and whatever. Come on.
They were honest with the police, and they did say, yeah, I thought I heard a firework. I could have sworn I saw flashes and like sparks. I don't know why that is. Like, I thought it was just another one of the fucking pranks that's always going on around here, right? Like that, okay. But they're telling the cops this. It's the police that are not listening. And they're spinning it into this like lone perp thing. Whereas Bethany is telling them, even though Dylan's upstairs and she's hearing screaming, struggling, and crying, Bethany's saying, well, yeah, as Dylan's hearing this, I heard a firework and saw a flash, and the police took that as, yep, must be a lone perpetrator.
Mm-hmm. Dylan even said she heard Kaylee dancing and singing with Murphy, then running up and down the stairs saying somebody's here. Why would you not go out with your friend and see what's going on?
Exactly. She said she was scared because she heard the fear in her voice and locked the door.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, I heard the same thing, dancing with Murphy, but then when I looked at the document with my eyes, there's commas. She's awoken to dancing, comma, right? Kaylee, comma, Murphy. So it's like there's a bunch of things happening.
Yeah.
It's like commas in between everything.
And they even have one of the reports say about people hearing that they hear music.
Read the docs.
Yeah, we have read the fucking docs.
We have read all the docs. What are you talking about?
You're talking to the doc queens up here, so what's the problem?
Do you mean, I think she means like read the docs now. Do you mean like just bring up docs and read them to you?
Oh, no,
Regina,
yeah,
we can just put the
no.
link for the docs if you want to go read them.
Yeah. You can rewind if you want to go check it out, but this is my channel, honey. And I'm 2 hours and 15 minutes
the
in.
docs are up on a website if you want to read them. Like, there's plenty of channels already reading them out loud, doc by doc. So, I just feel like that's kind of rude to say, like, read the docs.
Right? Like, no. How about that? No. Now I'm not going to read anything because you said to, which I was going to anyway. But we're up here brainstorming because we just read documents, which you can rewind and go see. And, that's why we're talking about what we just read, Jack.
I mean, I've already read through almost 100 live on my channel. So if you need to go catch up.
Is that where you're at? What number are you on?
I got up to 80 last night, but I'm on my own up to like 130 something, I think.
Holy shit, you still have a long way to go.
Yeah, I know. I'm only like about halfway through.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Jesse. She can hear dancing, or what sounds like dancing with a dog, which would be like the nails, I'm assuming, hitting off the floor. I don't know how the hell you know that sound. But then the bloody screams and the fireworks and the bangs and all that, you don't hear. Okay, sure. I believe you.
I mean, I'm just looking at it from the perspective that, okay, so both of these girls did tell the police, actually. They did tell them. Yeah, no, we heard some kind of fucking crazy shit going down, but like, there's always pranks. It's always really loud. So like, we weren't really sure what was happening, or because it's normal for this place to have people in and out and for it to be really loud. I can absolutely totally see that. But at the same time, they they did tell the police, like, we heard screaming, crying. Yeah. I thought I heard this guy saying in like a mean way. Not they.
Dylan did not say she heard this bang. And we know Dylan's awake. So if Bethany hears it, a bang and a flash, how doesn't Dylan hear it if she's awake, Annie?
Right, but then they lie about going to bed and just falling asleep when we know that's not true either.
That's what I mean. So what the hell? So what the hell's going on?
It's almost like their statements. Some people, like, not everybody's gonna just blue out. Hold the night to help you, God. Okay. Maybe they felt that if they said certain things, it's looks bad for them or something like that because there's this 8-hour delay. Okay. But the fact of the matter is, they did tell them. They heard screaming, crying, booms, fireworks, flashes, sparks, etc. And the fact of the matter is
no, I mean, you're right, because like it's really not Bethany's fault, I guess, that the prosecution ran to the grand jury, right? That's she provided the information, and they were the ones that decided to freak out. You're right. I mean,
it's really not their fault that the state ignored and the law enforcement ignored what they said. And if they listen to what they said, it's clear that you probably have at least 1 to 2 people on the second floor, never mind another person or more coming through first floor as well, right? Because Bethany's on the first floor hearing what she thinks is a firecracker and seeing sparks and flashes or whatever. But then at the same time, simultaneously, Dylan is hearing screaming and crying and a struggle upstairs on the second floor. So to me, that's just obvious.
But who's in the bathroom? When did somebody wind up in the bathroom, I guess is my question. And when did they leave the bathroom and like, you know what I mean? Like, was somebody killed in the bathroom and then taken back to a room, or did they actually, I don't know.
I want to know who was on the third floor in the window playing peekaboo with Molly. She said every time she'd look up, somebody on the third floor on the left-hand side, a girl with long blonde hair, would keep ducking. And who was that? Because Xana would be on the second floor. She wouldn't be on the third floor. I thought that was weird too, unless she's just wrong on what floor she was talking about. But the paper says it was the third floor, left side, girl with dark hair, looked at her, and then would duck, and then look at her again, and then duck. It's like she's playing peekaboo with her at 4 in the morning. Come on.
Or maybe somebody was waiting.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
I've always again I've just always felt just I always go with my gut with things, and I just always felt in my gut that this originated inside the home. This is not like they were all inside and all of a sudden people just came in and shit started on. No, I feel like this originated and something was spewing inside the home and something boiled over, and this is why you see so much stab wounds and stuff.
On the 3rd floor. How could she see the bathroom on the 3rd floor?
Exactly. Well,
there's a window. The 3rd floor.
I understand it, but that's in the back of the house, right? In between Maddie and Haley's room.
Now the bathroom window is in the front on the 3rd floor. You have 3 windows: the bathroom, the hallway, above the steps. There's a window, and then you've got Kaylee's side. If you look at the house, there's 3 windows on the top floor.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Now she said left side. Yeah, she said left side. She didn't. I don't think she said they didn't say bathroom. They just said 3rd floor left side. So to me, that's the bathroom. Who would be in that bathroom at that time with dark hair? Because like I said,
3rd
Xana
floor left side would be, I thought, Maddie's bedroom.
It is, but if you look at it, the bathroom's in front of Maddie's bedroom. Like if you're looking at the house.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Maddie's bedroom's in the back part of the house, so her window you see the back part. The bathroom you see the front part. So Molly was trying to say somebody was up in that bathroom playing freaking peekaboo with her. I want to know who that was at 4 in the morning. I really do.
Me too. Because that's weird.
I don't think they know who it was.
Nope. They said bathroom. Okay, I wasn't sure if they said bathroom or not. I didn't want to add that in, but okay, they did say bathroom on the north side, far east window. So yeah, that would be.
Okay.
Or maybe could it be this? Could the reason one heard a bang and the other one didn't because one was there and one wasn't?
Yeah, thought that one too.
I mean, Dylan's up in her room, but Bethany's downstairs, right?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out. Yeah.
I guess the way I look at it is if you're Dylan and you're in your room on the 2nd floor and you're hearing screaming, a struggle, the dog barking, maybe that's why you're not hearing the boom or the firecracker on the 1st floor or whatever's happening there, because there's already so much commotion happening near your door. You can't
what the hell's going on the 1st floor then?
Happening on the 1st floor. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. What the hell is going on the 1st floor? If she's visibly seeing a flash, she's supposedly saying, well, where's this flash originating from? Is my question.
From where Bethany's room is on the 1st floor, the only place it could be originating from is going to be that 1st floor hallway or the 1st floor unoccupied bedroom or the front door.
Yeah, because light can't travel around corners and shit and down around. So yeah.
Yeah.
And
I thought the same thing.
And I think that was the whole exculpatory, thing, and the prosecution freaked out and ran to the grand jury.
Yeah, and she's describing it as a firecracker and a flash, and then in another document she goes into further detail that it almost looked like sparklers. She thought it was somebody playing a prank and that there was sparklers under her door.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just so dumbfounded that they got by with all this. They got by with all this, got somebody to plea, and here we are, and the final I guess stand is just these 38 days. It's just sad, and then you have
what
victims.
Blows my mind is that forensically, you have one of these survivors on the 1st floor telling you they are hearing fireworks, they're seeing flashes and sparks, and it's happening at the same time that the other survivor is telling you shit is popping off outside my door. People are screaming, they're struggling. I hear the dog. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How do you come to it? Doesn't make sense that you come to lone perp, because if it's happening simultaneously, that who is downstairs, who is on the first floor, because he can't be upstairs killing 2 people, 3 people, while also lighting off a firework and fucking flashing things or whatever on the first floor at the same time.
That's, I mean, how many arms does he have? You know, and then he's going in loaded to the tits with like all this stuff on him and multiple knives and I don't know. It just doesn't sound like Brian Koberger. Sorry.
Even if it is, the point that I'm getting at is that even now that he has said, okay, fine, yep, taking the plea and he's got a plan and whatever. Okay, great, right? Fact of the matter is, he wasn't alone. And if he really is guilty and that is why he is taking this plea, he fucking knows he wasn't alone. And they need to make him cough that shit up, in my opinion.
That's what I mean. What if he doesn't have the knowledge or the information, then what the hell can he cough up?
Bro, what I just said is if he is guilty, and that is why he is
There's
taking
no
this
way
plea,
he wouldn't have given up the names already.
He wasn't alone.
He did. Listen, all he said he gives a fuck about is his mom or family and his dog. So if there was names that he could give to reunite with them, I'm sure he would have. That's just my opinion.
That. I guess what I'm saying is that that's just kind of
never been to jail
out there to you for the purposes of if he took the plea, these would be the reasons why. Well, one of them is that, okay, maybe he took the plea because he is guilty. And if he is guilty, then he fucking knows he wasn't alone. Because he knows there's someone on the first floor lighting off a firework or whatever and creating flashes. At the same time that, you know, he's upstairs allegedly stabbing everybody. All right? Is the point I'm getting at.
Yeah.
But maybe they can't bring up the second person because they're not on this earth no more.
I mean, I have no idea why. I just know that if he is guilty and that's why he took the plea, then he knows he wasn't alone.
Yeah, that's what I'm just wondering if, you know, because
I see where you're going, Christy. No, I see where you're going. I don't, but listen, you're on my listen. I don't give a fuck here. It's uncensored. You know, whatever your opinion is, it is what it is. If somebody has a problem with it in fucking chat, they can go. You know, it is what it is.
I've just wondered.
At this point, nobody's wrong because everything's up in the air at this point. When you look at these documents and this information, everything is up in the air at this point. So nobody's wrong. Don't be afraid to, you know, speak your mind. That's all.
Yeah, even I thought that, you know, Fuzzy Cake says if it was Capaco, why wouldn't he just say it? I thought that, and maybe he was gonna, but the judge didn't allow them to bring in, you know.
That's me. How do we know? How do we know he wasn't one of the ultimate suspects?
Yeah, exactly. And they just wanted to let it, and then, you know, he's not here to stand up and defend himself. So is that? I don't know. I'm just something I've thought.
And knowing Hitler, knowing Hitler, he'd be like, "You're not going to blame United States veteran," you know.
Yep, exactly what I thought.
I agree with that.
I just think it's weird
because who has
Quebec's stuff was all erased, and now all of a sudden we're finding out so is Brian's. They said
yeah.
You know, he went in and he deleted all his shit and got it all cleared out now. Well, isn't that ironic? So Brett's phone was cleared too. Just weird things that I and like I said, I really hate to even think of him because he was a vet and you know, like I 100% respect for the guy, but he was.
Yeah, it still doesn't change the fact that it still doesn't change the fact that body cam footage or that whole extraction and everything, in my opinion, that's all set up. Like I've never seen a more reenacted horseshit training, whatever the hell that was in my life, because you have the neighbor that you keep in his apartment, which if there is crossfire from. If Brent has this gun that, you know, they're supposed to be saying, and Brent starts firing at the cops and that neighbor gets hit, you know, they would get that neighbor out of the room if there was any kind of threat of that nature. So in my opinion, they knew that either Brent was already dead or you know, he wasn't even there. So I don't know. That whole body cam is screwed up.
I actually received a whole bunch of body cam from that the last couple of days, but I haven't put it out because of everything that was going on. And I got views I never seen before.
Mm-hmm.
And the one you can hear somebody inside talking, and it does sound like him. It sounds like Brent. But then after that,
but where's the screaming?
I don't hear any.
Where's this psychotic PTSD break?
Yeah, I don't hear any of that. And now, granted, I didn't watch every part of it because I was going to go live and play them in that, but everything happened and I didn't do it. But I didn't watch them all. But what I watched of them, it don't make sense.
And anybody who's ever swept the house before, like when they opened that, as soon as they press the buttons to open the door, like, and you hear that beeping, like, come on, you can't take that risk of not thinking like Brent's on the other side of that door, hearing the beeping, knowing you're about to open that door, and literally waiting there with a assault rifle or whatever they're saying that he possessed, and just shot everybody. They walked in that apartment, in my opinion, knowing he wasn't even going to be in that first part of the home, and then they extract the home. You heard them, they're like, hey, you black guy, out. And they're like, they're telling people, this person, that person, to get out. How do they know at that point if none of those are Brent?
Yeah.
Or where the threat is at that point in time, because things change from the time that they get a call and information from to the time that they enter that apartment. So they're not going to know where the fuck Brent is at that point. He could have been behind the door waiting for him. You know what I mean? So that's why, to me, if you watch that body cam, I mean, that's plain as day. That's scripted.
It's almost too casual. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. 100%.
It's just way too laid back. If you think there's somebody in there that's, gonna shoot you and everything else, they're just so calm and relaxed and it's weird.
But then my mind goes to, why didn't because then I think about it, why didn't law enforcement or just all of them just make it easier on themselves and just say Brent did it and Brent's no longer here, and you kill two birds with one stone? But instead you make it complicated and you charge Brian Koberger, who, where the hell is he getting a flashbang? If a flashbang was used, or whatever, like, this just sounds like somebody in the military who was able to, like, because I think if you were in the military, you're able to, like, own. If somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, I might be wrong here, but I think if you were in the military, you're able to own, like, different guns than, like, just like a regular civilian. I don't know if that's true or not, but I watch these channels of, like, guys shooting guns and stuff like that, and they're always shooting these crazy, like, automatic guns that they own, and most of them are in the military. So yeah, I think you're allowed to own stronger guns. Do you know if that's true or not, Christy, or any?
I don't know for certain, but I do think you're right, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
Yeah, I don't. If civilians can buy flashbangs, where can I buy a flashbang? I want 12 right now. I'll take 2 dozen. What does that guy say when he eats the whatever his wife made him? He's like, I love it. I'll take 2 dozen right now. Military or SWAT, Willie, something. I mean, but here's the thing: it's either a flashbang or a gun, or, I mean, we can say, what, a firework? Did somebody throw a firework in the goddamn house? But, like, then where's the picture? Like, where's the crime scene photo of this burnt spot that it would have left? Does that make sense? Like, because when, like, this shit goes off, even a firework goes off, a flashbang goes off, it leaves a black, like, residue, like, because it just blew out the fucking goddamn floor. So, like, where is a picture of that damage if it was a flashbang or it was a firework? Because if it wasn't a flashbang or firework, I'm sorry. I watched enough interviews already of people who have heard gunshots that have said that they thought it was firecrackers to believe that it was a gun. And that's why they tore down the house and buried everything, because a bullet travels through everything, especially drywall. So we hear they were cutting out pieces of wall. Is that why? It all just kind of adds up when you think about it. Dylan sees a gun I mean, what the fuck? You have one seeing a gun, you have one possibly hearing a gun firing and seeing the flash. I don't know.
And way in the beginning, if you're like, the rumor was going around about them being shot, and then it went to a beanbag gun was used. Does that flash? I mean, I don't know a lot about beanbag.
I don't know, but like, who's using this shit?
Yeah,
Who's
that
coming in
would
with
be
beanbags? Huh?
It'd be military to me.
Or I mean, a beanbag gun is that could be SWAT.
Yeah.
You know, I saw somebody. Is that not? Yeah. I mean, nothing still says stun gun, but my thing is like, who was the stun gun used on? Because if the stun gun was used on one of the victims, there's no way in hell in their autopsy, like that's not going to show up in their autopsy that before they were killed or whatever, they were stunned. Because that's going to, I'm assuming, do something to your heartbeat and show.
Well, how do we know that the fireworks, say it's fireworks, how do we know that it's not to get people to come out of their rooms? Just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, you could be right. It's just, if I hear a big bang, like outside of my, like if I hear a big bang in my living room that sounds like a goddamn firework, I'm locking my door and grabbing my gun. I just don't see how that's a way to get somebody to come out.
We're talking about like Bethany's on the first
I get it,
floor.
but then you have to have knowledge. I get it, but then you have to have knowledge that, like, you know, they play pranks on each other. You know what I mean? So it's not just some. So
that's literally
Brian.
Bethany told them she initially assumed it was another one of the pranks. So
it sounds like a prank gone wrong, but then we have to think about it because Brian didn't have any knowledge of these pranks, so he would have no reason to do this.
Well, that's kind of the point that I'm getting at. Obviously, there's more than one person because if the struggle and the screaming and everything is happening on the second floor, right around the same time Bethany thinks she is seeing and hearing fireworks and flashes, then I don't understand how he's doing both simultaneously at the same time. Is what I can't wrap.
How did Ethan and Xana be killed at the same time? That's the other thing. They said they both died at the same time. How does that
or attacked? Attacked. I think they said attacked at the same time. Yeah.
How does that happen?
That's why I said earlier. How many arms does Brian have? Because Ethan's 6. But is Ethan sleeping at this point? So is he attacking Xana while she's awake? And her scream, nobody screams. Nobody screams before Brian gets down. I'm just using Brian for reference. Before Brian gets down to Xana and Ethan's room, that doesn't wake up anybody.
No.
He's still sleeping. He sleeps through it. But Xana's awake. She's ordering food. She's in and out. Then somebody's in the bathroom. It's like, holy shit. How much? I don't know. To me, it's just too easy to say Ethan was sleeping because.
And how is he sleeping if they have a rolled up bill of crushed up Adderall on the desk beside them, and Xana's, you know what I mean? Like,
what time did they get home? Do we even know when they actually got home? Wasn't it like 2? No.
I don't think we really got an exact time. It was a little after 2 or something, I remember, but
just doesn't make sense that she ordered a loan and used Ethan's account. I don't know. It's just odd to me. And then what Annie was saying, told me yesterday, it's like, who was found, Annie, again, with like one shoe and one sock on or something? Like they were getting ready to like leave.
Well, I thought when I first read it, it said like one sock, one white Adidas shoe or something like that. I think it's one Adidas sock. I could be wrong. Somebody double check it. But that's why I always say, don't listen to me, motherfucker. Read the doc.
Hey, listen, you're reading the doc, so I thought, she had a shoe on too. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. Like I said, we have. I think.
Hey, you know what else I thought was really weird too? Did anybody else see the one? So it kind of jumped out at me. It stood out to me a little bit that they only took the things out of the cars. I forget what they call them. It's only for the Chapin's 2 vehicles and Maddie's car.
Yeah, it was like an OST or I know what you're talking
whatever
about.
it is they took out. I just thought it
Yep.
was interesting. It's technically the Chapin's 2 vehicles and then Maddie's little Chevy Cruze. I thought that was pretty interesting. The other two, Kaylee and Xana's vehicles, didn't have theirs taken out, or Dylan's or Bethany's or
Nope.
anybody else's.
Nope. I seen that too. I thought that too.
Yeah, there's, like I said, there's a lot, and more. I mean, more's coming out. I mean, there's.
Wait, Annie, wait till you get to some of these out. Like number 160 on the thing is about a dance instructor in PA, and she talks about this creepy guy, and she says it's Brian and how weird he was at. Like, strange. There are so many things that I don't get. Like that, I don't know. The dance instructor, I think, is an interesting one. You'll get to here. You'll see when you read it. But
When
and
you say
there's
that, 160.
160, and then 159. There's one where they said that Brian went to Oklahoma State College, and that the instructor or the lady that they're interviewing says that her husband gave Brian a K-bar, which I thought was weird. Now, somebody told me that somewhere else it said that they couldn't find proof. Yeah, I think it does at the end.
That same report says that when trying to follow up on this tip,
yeah,
and everything, and none of it could be verified, and there's no evidence at all that Brian ever went to Oklahoma.
Yeah. Which I thought was weird.
This is why I love like having conversations like this, because like, you know, we all can, like, you know, we all interpret something, but then we all, you know, converse about it and then set the record straight. Yeah. To me, it's so important, you know?
Yeah. I agree with you. I like it too. That's why I like our little crowd of people.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
Yep.
That's why I like going live, you know, like obviously the you know, the donations and all that I appreciate more than anything, but like, you know, I'm not here for that. I'm here because, you know, I enjoy everybody and everybody's opinions, and, you know, it's because MSM doesn't do this, right? They just get a report. They go, you know, the camera turns on, they talk about whatever, the camera shuts off. Here, we're able to converse, figure shit out, brainstorm, light bulbs going off, you know, everybody in chat, you know, being able to chime in. You know, you can't do that everywhere. And if that's when we can't stop talking about this case until, you know, it's rectified. This is rectified, because this shit should never go away. This is so disgusting what they did. It's yeah, I don't know. And even and all, you know, the guilters, as much as they want to bitch and moan, you know, go bitch and moan about Steve G too, because he's saying the same goddamn thing. He's saying the university, you know, basically covered this up, and at the expense of the victims. That's literally his words. Mm-hmm. You know, but when we say something like that, we're called nuts. When he says it, oh, you know, Ashley Banfield or whoever brings him on their channel, it's like, oh, can you talk about what you said about? Oh, but we're the, you know, bad people if we say it. It's amazing how, you know, it's not a two-way street, but that's okay. Yeah. But yeah, I appreciate you guys coming out. It's I need to eat something. I'm starting to get a headache. I haven't eaten all day. But Chrissy, I really appreciate you coming up, doing that for me. Annie, I always appreciate you coming up. Oh, of course, you're welcome anytime. Annie, and what time did you say? By the way, if everybody can subscribe to Annie's channel, she reads through the documents and she don't fuck around. So. And she's cool as shit. So yeah, subscribe to Annie.
Don't forget about me.
Do you have a channel?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What's it called?
It's Christina Nevada. It's the same as my name.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And subscribe to Chrissy. Well, can you put your maybe saying if somebody could put her link in the chat, because I want to subscribe to your channel too. Yeah, if you guys can sub to her too. That'd be great. And like I said, I appreciate you guys coming up and, you know, conversing with me, not leaving me up here by myself.
Bye, Willie. I gotta go.
Bye. I'll see you later.
Bye.
Yeah, I'll be there later. You guys have a good night and good weekend. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
All right. See you guys.
Bye, chat. Bye, Christy.
I'll talk to you soon, Annie. Oh, all right, guys. Well, probably gonna shut this down. Oh, I'm a little tired, and I'm sorry. I know. I think Mittens got mad at me because I missed something she said. Again, I apologize. I can only see 3 messages at a time, and when chat's going fast and I have the panel up, it's hard to kind of do 3 things at once. So I apologize if I missed anybody that was. I'm, you know, I'm keeping a close eye on chat now. If it was something really important that somebody had a question about. Hey, thanks. I appreciate it. I'm trying to get the sub count up here, but that's okay. You know, I'm content with the amount of people that come by and the great conversations we have. So, I wasn't able to. I can't close this down because I'm on my phone, but I'm gonna check Cash App and what's it called? I'm having a brain fart. Venmo when I get off here, and then you know, if anybody send any donations, I'll send back a message, you know, a thank you message and everything. And like I said, anything's appreciated because it's all just going towards a setup and just more stuff to kind of make the lives more enjoyable and stuff for you guys because that's really what it's about, in my opinion. So yeah, so I appreciate everybody coming by, mods, Meg, Heather, Annie. Who else am I missing? Am I missing anybody else? I'm missing somebody else. But I appreciate you guys. I know we had a few trolls today, but that's all right. I dealt with those little bastards. Hey, I'm doing my best, Candy. You know, I'm doing my best. I'm on a phone. You know, we had 5, 6 people up here today, and in my opinion, the audio is pretty good. So if I can do this from a phone, I think I could maybe amp up the lives and what we do and stuff once I have the setup. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I hope everybody has a great weekend. I might go live tomorrow because I'll probably read some more information that's going to piss me off to go live. So look out for tomorrow. I might go live a little bit, and then yeah, Annie said she's going to be live later. If y'all can check out Annie, she's great with reading the docs. Twiz got a channel now, and yeah. So appreciate y'all. Have a great weekend. And then, like I said, I'll check the donations after I get off here. And if you have any questions or anything like that, my email's on the channel. Don't be afraid to reach out. I'll get back to you eventually. I'm not the best with technology, but I try. So appreciate y'all. Love you. Have a good one. Bye.